Hey, what's up, Yuval? Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to be a little bit more consistent on weekends, but my weekly streams have been really random, yeah. But I streamed a ton this week. I think I streamed every day besides yesterday, maybe? But yeah, super random times during the week. But hopefully for weekends we can keep it to like noonish like this, and then hopefully people can actually know what time to expect. How's it going? Yeah, I just want to set up the Twitch stuff real quick. I'll make sure that's working, and then we can get into some Abyss runs. Hey, how's it going? Just setting up here. Let me make sure my mic sounds okay. Is the microphone sounding all right today? I actually changed a little bit of it. I rewatched the Neverwinter Night stream, and it was a little hard to hear the actual game. I think my balance was kind of off on the audio stuff, so I've made some changes. Hopefully it's all right now. Sounds all right? Good. Yeah, I know we live on the other side of the globe, so anyway, I want to tell you that I love your content. It's a pleasure to see your channel grow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. I always love reading kind words like that. Are you in EU then? Yeah, I was trying to figure out what time for me could work for the European crowd. I have a decent amount of European viewers, but it's a little hard to match it with my schedule, like better streaming time for them. It's like the Twitch side. I'm from the Middle East, similar time to EU. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Is EU other side? I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been very grateful for all the support on the channel, honestly. Yeah, I feel very, very lucky to be able to make this Daggerfall content and share it with you guys. Then you too? Yeah, I think this time's not great for EU, right? It's kind of late for you guys already. But I guess maybe on like a weekend it's all right, maybe. This will be the first time today that we're checking out the Abyss dungeons. I finally made sure to test right before the stream. I know it's working. The only thing is that it's a little bit dark still. For those of you guys that have tried out the Abyss Dungeon, if you... and I guess I could probably check in-game here, but if you go to the mod settings and reduce the dungeon visual darkness all the way down, it makes it a lot easier to see. But it's still pretty dark. But then some hallways are actually okay and not too bad. It just kind of depends. And there's different Abyss dungeons, I'm sure. So maybe some are lighter, some are darker as well. But yeah, I did test it. It was definitely working. Actually, timing is close to perfect. Nice. Yeah, I kind of figured it would be okay. Like maybe a little late for some people, but not too bad. And I think for the NA crowd, 12-ish is pretty good for Saturday or Sundays, but during the week, not great. You've all sent one Shpan gift membership. Thank you, you've all. That's an awesome way to start the stream. I really appreciate that. It's very generous. Thank you. Hey, and we got the little notifications actually working for stream. Could you guys hear the little jingle that plays for a gifted membership, or was that just on my side? I'm still kind of new to all the streaming stuff, so I'm kind of trying to figure it out still. But thank you. Patrola 8. Yeah, I finally started to put a little bit of work into figuring out the whole stream notification stuff, so hopefully that makes it a little cooler on your guys' end. No jingle? Okay. I'll have to figure that out. I actually heard the jingle in my own earphones, which is interesting. And how's it going, Brad? Hope you're doing well. I think we're good to start here. I'm actually pretty excited to show you guys this Abyss dungeon, because I know that Jet0822, that's the mod author, he put a lot of work into kind of specifically designing some parts of the Abyssal dungeons to support the roguelike mode really well. So I'm kind of interested to see how that functions. And if any of you guys want to see a specific class, definitely let me know. We could always try some of those out. I do think for this mode, we're going to have to go Argonian. What's up, Kana? How's it going? I think we're pretty much going to have to go Argonian for this, because most of the Abyssal dungeons are actually underwater, which is kind of cool. And Argonian with the no, what's it called again, that mod? Iliac Puddle No More mod turns their passive into underwater breathing. So without this, I feel like it would be so difficult, this roguelike. So we'll try it with Argonians first. 1700 in the UK, gotcha. 17 o'clock. Okay, that's not too bad then, actually. Oh, this might be a good time then for both NA and EU. I do think on Saturdays and Sundays, some people from NA might be kind of busy doing some stuff, but that's okay. Lizard Wizard, let's go. Yeah. What's it called? I think we'll try some of the classes like this, but I have a feeling the Abyss dungeons are going to be really difficult. And it'll be a kind of cool opportunity for us to test a custom class, actually, for the roguelike mode. So if we're having too much trouble here, we'll probably go custom and try to build something that we think can actually survive the Abyssal dungeons. But, yeah. First, we'll try some of the random classes and see how that works. Hope you're doing well. The first sip. All right, any calls for which class? I was actually thinking that in the custom, I might make some kind of monk-like class. If the Abyssal dungeon is too hard for us to clear with these pre-made classes. Because then I can, I would be able to bypass starting with the iron material, which is kind of nice. And I wouldn't have to worry too much about what gear drops right away, which would give us like a fighting chance in those beginning rooms that already are filled with like difficult underwater enemies. What's up, Green Man? Excited to catch the stream? Yes. I think this time is good for a lot of you guys, so that's nice. My random week day streams have been kind of all over the place and kind of hard for people to catch, I think. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's start, I think, first with a monk. We'll see how the pre-made monk feels. We got the Abyss region. I don't think there's any difference in dungeon sizes for Abyss, so we're not going to touch that. I think we have to be a slightly higher level as well. Let's go with 12. All right, let's see how crazy this is. It might start off really dark, in which case I might need to use like console commands to create a mage light for us. We'll see how it looks. A dark tome appears in your bag. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, we start underwater. We'll give it a little time to load up here. You descend into the sunken vault of black salt. Yeah, so I think all these dungeons... Okay, cool. We actually spawned on top, and half the dungeon just drowned to death. That's hilarious, actually. Even these... Oh, I'm seeing Vampire Ancients up there. Oh, man, this could be crazy. Let's see. So we actually started right in front of the shop, which is kind of nice for us. And we start with the Potion of Stamina. That's because we're a monk and we have no weapon. So if you start with no weapon, then you'll get a free potion, which is nice. Let's check our actual skill here. By the way, I think there's a major delay between message sent to YouTube to appears on screen. Is this regular? Oh, let me check that real quick. Thanks for bringing that up, actually. I could check the overlay here. Let's see. I could try, I should be able to refresh the overlay. It might look a little better now. I just refreshed it. I think it looks a little faster now, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Did that look any faster, or was it kind of the same? About 15 to 20 seconds. Wow. That's actually kind of long. That's really weird. Let me check my own YouTube settings here. It could be on the actual YouTube stream settings. It's possible. I might have some kind of delay going on. How do I check this? Stream settings. Okay. All right, looks like... I don't think I have a stream delay here. It doesn't look like it on the settings, at least. But 15 to 20 seconds is kind of long. It's kind of weird. I see the option here for message delay, but it's checked off, so it shouldn't be on. I wonder if it's possible that my restream to Twitch is causing some lag, potentially, or something. I could also try... Oh, I don't know, actually. I'm so bad with stream stuff. I feel like every stream I fire up, I got some technical issues. Sorry, guys. I don't know. What else could I check here? Streamlabs looks like it doesn't do any delay on my end. I don't know. I'll have to look into this maybe after. But 15 to 20 seconds is kind of long, honestly. I wonder if I can test on my own. I can look at my OBS. Actually, yeah, let me look at my own OBS here. I'm going to type something in and see how long this takes. 4, 5, 6. Alright, it took me like 6 seconds from typing in, but it might be faster on my end because I'm actually running the stream. What's up, Valentine? How's it going? We're just starting out and checking out the abyssal dungeons here for the roguelike mode. We're going with Argonian so we can actually breathe underwater, and we're trying out the monk to hopefully make it a little bit easier for us early on. But I did a little testing. I didn't actually play through a full run. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You start out completely underwater. There might be some unique mechanics or some surprises here. I'm not really sure. And the lighting actually looks pretty good now. Then have you got the low latency option selected on YouTube streaming? Oh, interesting. Let me check that. Low latency. Oh, that should be probably under stream settings here. Let's look. Details, maybe? No, not that. I don't even see that, actually. I see live chat replay, summary. I do see a slow mode here. You might not have it due to YouTube wanting to monetize everything. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't see it right now. It also is possible that I can only set that up before the stream goes live, maybe. That could be possible as well. Oh, I see it actually. I see stream latency, normal latency, it says. Oh, interesting. Let's click on the little help button here for this. Oh, good call. Kinda, I think maybe it looks grayed out though. I think I can only change this before the stream went live, potentially. But there's a normal latency section, a low latency section, then ultra low latency is another one. And mine looks selected for normal latency, which might be why it feels a little slower. All right, we got 51 hand-to-hand is pretty decent. Critical strike is good as well. All right, let's see how crazy this dungeon is here. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, I'm going to have to... That's really useful for me to know, though. Thanks. I can... Oh, man, it's so hard to dodge in this mode. Underwater, I mean. Oh, no. Oh, we're actually getting some good hits in, though, actually. All right, I mean, this might be doable with this. I can't even imagine doing this with another class right now, just because of how hard this would be to hit anything with an iron weapon. It's doing okay, good. Real question, why would you want more latency? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you have some kind of lower performance computer or something, maybe it helps. I'm so bad with stream stuff. By the way, how's it going, Common Joe? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I have no idea, actually, why you would want that. That must have been default, because I didn't really play around with those type of settings too much. Does this feel different than my other streams, though, for you guys that have been here before? It feels a little slower, you think? Can I not even rest here? For games where you can stream snipe. Oh, okay, yeah, like competitive games, maybe? Or higher latency can increase bitrate. Yeah, that also makes sense. We can sell this ingredient here. I don't think we'll be able to buy anything for a little while, but might as well. Well, actually, that sells for a decent amount. Can probably pick up a potion, actually. Free action's pretty useful, too. Let's grab that in case we get paralyzed by something. I do think there could be liches down here, so we'll have to do that. Monks can't wear any armor, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't need water breathing because we're an Argonian now. But I can't rest, huh? Whoa, is this the fully underwater just for extra hardness? Yeah, these are the abyssal dungeons here. And they look really cool. We're going to have to, I think, make our own like custom class that can actually handle this, which is kind of a cool idea for the roguelike mode. Usually with the normal dungeons, you can easily, well, not always easily, but you can find a way to deal with it with the pre-made classes. But with this one, I feel like we're going to need a specific custom class. And I have some ideas already. Since we can't rest here, there is an advantage in Daggerfall that is like rarely ever used, and you regenerate health when you're submerged in water. So I think that's kind of cool. We could actually grab that, which is kind of funny. And that could be pretty strong. But we're also really struggling on stamina. Which is kind of interesting. So I'm wondering, we do have one. That's another reason the monk is really good. The monk gets a free stamina potion, actually, so that's kind of cool. Thankfully, our hero is an amphibian of some sort, so he is well prepared for the arduous journey ahead. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I have to grab Argonian for this mode. We'll try to give ourselves the best options available before we try like harder classes. We'll probably build something. Yeah, no rest dungeon dive is extremely hardcore. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. And this is kind of I saw in the notes, yeah, we can see here in the notes that there's actually 91 enemies. So this is at least a medium or large size dungeon. It would be cool if Daggerfall had an advantage that was like sleep. You can sleep underwater or something. That is the one type of mod support I'm waiting for the most. Like a list of mods that adds, what's it called? New advantages and disadvantages to the game. It's also kind of nice to get a book there. Books usually sell for a decent amount. And yeah, something really cool about the No More Puddle in Iliac. I forgot the name. Iliac Puddle No More mod is that you actually get like a backdash with the shift button. And you can see like here, I'll try to do one real quick. Oh, whoa, we got spells. That little backdash I did. It consumes stamina though. But it lets you kind of dodge underwater a little bit easier. Okay, that was a good first test. But I think we're going to have to go with a custom class. This will be interesting. Howdy, finally off to enjoy full stream. What's up, Bang? How's it going? Happy to hear that. Yeah, I think this is a better time slot for most people, it looks like. I feel like we got some new people in the stream and some more long-term followers too, which is nice to see. But yeah, we're going to definitely go Argonian, but let's go with a custom class, actually. Maybe you guys have some ideas too, what could be good here. Underwater adventure. What could help us in these dungeons? Goodbye, Ninja Turtle. We'll be back. We'll have to go Argonian again. So I'm thinking hand-to-hand is kind of a must here. Just because if we spawn somewhere and we only have an iron weapon, we're going to be in trouble. Dodging could be good. That's me. I'm a long-term follower. By the way, Shpan, you mentioned before that you like the idea of custom advantages and disadvantages. I wanted to ask you what ideas you have for such. Yeah, I had a lot of cool ideas. I actually made a notepad a long time ago with some of the ideas, but some concepts I like are things like you can only cast outdoors. I feel like that fits like a druid concept. The idea that you might this was actually my favorite concept, and I talked about this in, I forgot which video this was from, but I love the idea of an advantage that lets you specialize in one school of magic. And it can have like an opposite school or either lock you out of every other school. So like, let's say the advantage is called like mysticism specialist. And if you grab that mysticism specialist advantage, maybe the spells are either 2 times as effective, or they cost a lot less, or they have some other benefit. But the downside to it is that you can no longer cast, let's say, a spell from the opposite tree. So I don't know what would be opposite of mysticism, maybe like illusion or something, for example. Then all of a sudden you're completely blocked from casting any spell that has a spell effect from the illusion tree. Or it could be that you can only use mysticism and no other tree. So I thought advantages and disadvantages like that could be cool. Ways to actually specialize as a certain type of caster. I feel like it's the one thing Daggerfall is kind of missing. Being a caster usually doesn't really feel like a specialist in any field, I feel like. Um, but it seems like it's probably pretty difficult to mod in specific advantages because I haven't seen it done yet. So it must be very difficult in the game system or something. Also, restoration is a must because you can't sleep. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point, actually. We definitely need restoration. We're also going to need 3 times magery. And actually, that's a really good point, Yuval, because I want to make sure restoration is actually my highest skill so that the roguelike system gives me the proper starting spell. We could also go swimming here. This will help us move a little faster. We'll put that in the major tree here. The role-playing possibilities? Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of cool options. I mean, there's so many cool ideas that other people could think of for advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, there's like an endless compossible, list that you could think of. What kind of weapon would we want? Oh yeah, we'll stick with hand-to-hand. I don't want to grab any other weapon, I don't think. Critical strike is good too. We got dodging already. You could alter magic point scaling for different schools. Yeah, something like that could work really well. How's it go, Mysterious Fox? Good to see you. What kind of enemy do we expect to see the most down here as well, by the way? Maybe, I think in one of them there was a decent amount of undead. 3 times casting cost for school XYZ. Yeah, something like that. Could be nice. Imagine also custom advantages and disadvantages for item enchanting. Yeah, that'd be insane. Oh, that would be cool in general, actually. Could you imagine like advantages for certain type of crafting options? Because that's something also that the advantages and disadvantages system has never touched on, really. It really doesn't ever affect any of the crafting. Like maybe we would then join like a temple faction and focus on potion making actually and have an advantage that's designed for it. Like you get 2 times effectiveness from potions or something. That'd be cool. Ghosts, ghastly foes. Yeah, I think maybe we'll go necromancy here and just see how that feels. Maybe Daedric as well. I'm not sure what we'll see down here. And then we could grab, well, I don't really want too much other magic, but I might just grab a few others just in case. Alteration could be good. We don't really need anything for underwater breathing since we're definitely going Argonian, but I'll just grab them anyway. Actually, animal taming as well, right? There could be some slaughterfish down there. And let's go. Actually, mercantile could maybe help us with the shopkeeper. I didn't think about that as well. Stealth could also be decent, maybe. Let's go mercantile for now. I really like the role-playing aspect to genuinely feel like you were living in the game's world, life, house, etc. Yeah. I would also love to see, Valentine, by the way, more like life sim mod support, especially the housing stuff. I love the decorator mod for that, and someone had actually in the Discord mentioned a cool thing with the decorator mod that I want to try out that I forgot about, which is about making like random objects the light sources. For some reason in my mind, I wasn't really thinking about making a light source to anything that's not actually a light. So if I built like a candle or a torch or something, I would make those light sources. But if you make something else a light source that has a different color, you get like an interesting different glow in the room, which is kind of cool. So I got to try that out as well, speaking of which. But yeah, I would love to see more life sim stuff. Would be cool if there were advantages that force you to take a certain disadvantage as a pair. Yeah, that would be really cool. I think that would be like a great way to do certain advantages that really are designed off some kind of trade-off or something, which I guess really isn't the way right now in the system. I don't know if Daggerfall has any advantages or disadvantages that really work that way. I can't think off the top of my head if any do. We're gonna have to go 3 times int with spell points here. We actually don't care about the skill advancement, so we can go, we can go a lot higher here because we're just doing the roguelike mode, right? So we're not worried about how we level up, which means adrenaline rush could be really useful for us. We often get kind of low on health, so we'll get some advantage there. Bonus hit to undead, I think, is nice here. We don't expect to see humanoids, but animals we could see underwater. Could also just grab immunity to paralysis. But I don't think we need that necessarily. Actually, maybe we do. This time we won't grab it. We'll wait and see. But yeah, I was thinking regenerate health while immersed in water. This is the one time this super niche advantage could actually potentially be really good. Let's grab that for this. Spell absorption could also be really strong. All right, let's do that. Let's do that in dark. That's a pretty strong advantage list there. For disadvantages, we could just get rid of basically everything we don't care about here. We'll do unable to use magic in daylight. That's fine for us. We could also do a phobia to humans, right? Like, I highly doubt there's any humans down here because they would just drown immediately. So let's do that, actually. That's a pretty good boost. Actually, that didn't do that much. Huh. All right, we'll grab it anyway. It's something. Forbidden weaponry is fine for us because we're only going to use our fists. We could even actually, this is kind of funny, we could actually grab damage from sunlight, which is a pretty big boost here, because we're never going to leave the dungeon, right? So that's fine. And from holy places too, we could just grab it. Let's see. And we could do, which material gives you the most if you restrict yourself from maybe steel? Because we can't wear any armor anyway. Yeah, this is pretty good right here. Then we could really pump up our max HP. All right. This character should be strong. We got hand-to-hand, dodging, restoration. Let's see. Will we see you decorate a house, grow vegetables, and do that kind of stuff, Shpan? I actually thought about doing like a live stream where I was just decorating a house for a character. And I think that could be cool. I don't know. Would you guys want to watch something like that? Me just decorating a house? I wonder if I might be too boring for you guys or not. I think it's kind of cool to watch, but personality, we can really dump this. We don't care about personality right now. So let's dump this basically as low as we can get here. We'll do 15. We'll get our speed up. This will help us attack more. We'll also reduce our luck a decent amount. All right, I feel like this is a strong character. Do I want... I guess strength is better here. Okay. We got our custom class here. And let's choose level 12, I think. Let's choose the Abyss. Let's make sure we're an Argonian. And I think we're set here. You would watch? Yeah, I think I'll do that, actually. I have a thief character that I've been playing with, and I haven't actually... I guess I did show the character on stream, but I haven't played with her on stream, really, for any kind of, like, Let's Play or anything. But I do want to make, like, a thief-inspired type of hideout player home, so that could be kind of cool. All right, is everything right? We got Argonian, Underwater Adventure, Custom Class, level 12. Any dungeon size, the Abyss. All right, let's try this. I feel like this is a good, decent contender. The one thing we have to worry about is our stamina, so we don't drown down here. Oh no, we started right in front of an enemy. This is a creepy looking, guy here, some kind of Yeti-ish thing. That already felt pretty strong, though. Our hand-to-hand's 53. Not bad. It's similar to systems in Ultima Online? Gotcha. There's another game, too, that has a system like this that, I was thinking about the other day. I can't think of the name right now. That had, like, a trade-off system in character creation. I'm actually sure there's many RPGs that do this, obviously, but, yeah, I was just thinking about this the other day. It is the one type of modded content I would love to see most. If I could choose one thing, that's what I would choose. All right, this feels pretty good, though, so far now. Bigfoot, just not that blurry? Yeah. Oh, man, where are these guys coming from? Let's see if we can unlock this. Nah, okay, so we'll just kick it open. Fallout has their trait system. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't actually think... Oh, man, we got a lich right here. Oh, my God. All right, at least he killed the Bigfoot. Oh, man, this could be tough. All right, what spells do I have? I have underwater breathing. Oh, and stamina. So we did get a heal fatigue. This is pretty nice. Let's put that on our hotkey. So we can get our stamina back now. The same guy, no. Oh, you're right. They are trolls. Good call, Yuval. Yeah. Yeah, that's why they're coming up. It's the same troll. Man, I never see trolls. I always forget that. But yeah, trolls do resurrect like this. We gotta run from this lich for now, I think. Oh, man. Dodging underwater is insane. This is pretty fun right now. We gotta move. Oh, there are humanoids down here. So, okay. That is good to know. And we got a new spell. Okay. Shield could be decent. Let's hit this switch. We gotta run. Go up. All right. We're doing all right now. Trolls regenerating health unless you burn them is a common trope of sorts. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my game crashed. No, we just built a really cool... Oh, man, that's so unfortunate. All right, I might have to save during these. Oh, that's so sad. That is unfortunate. I think that's the first crash I've had for the roguelike mode. All right, let me fire the game back up. My bad, guys. Hopefully that's not a recurring issue for us, but interesting. I'll just start saving actually then. We'll save in the roguelike mode in case we get a crash like that. I feel like that build was feeling pretty good though. Regenerating health underwater is pretty good. Hand-to-hand is probably the right option as well. Very soggy spell scroll. Yeah. Surprised we can read that underwater. If I load, nah, yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Okay. Let's try one pure chaos. Then we'll go back to that same custom class again. Let's go. Pure chaos might actually randomly be stronger than but we do still want to go Argonian. We need the Argonian for this. All right, let's try this again. And let's hope it doesn't crash. Let's make a quick save. We also have a dark tome appears in your bag. This message. I'm not sure what that's about. That sweet intro music, though? Yeah, absolutely. I do love Daggerfall's music. I actually thought about doing a video specifically on Daggerfall's music, but I was kind of worried that maybe it would be, like, potentially flagged, I don't know, on YouTube or something. But we just got one shot. All right. Maybe the pure chaos is not the way. But yeah, I was thinking about doing like a YouTube short of just some of my favorite Daggerfall themes, just like 20 seconds of each song or something. I feel like a video like that could get a lot of people into Daggerfall. Because everyone loves, you know, I always hear stuff about Skyrim's music and Morrowind's music and stuff, but I feel like the Daggerfall music's kind of underrated. Or maybe just not known as well. Let's try Pure Chaos one more time, though. I didn't even get to check what was our build for that. Yeah, I knew this was going to be difficult, these Abyss dungeons, but let me quickly try to open up the inventory. Okay, so what do we get? Water walking, water breathing. That's pretty useless. Hey, at least we got Short Blade. We got a weapon skill in the primary slot. That's kind of nice. Archery as well. Let's check out history. Immunity to magic. Look at this list here. I actually want a mod of orchestral version of the music. Yeah, Daggerfall music is underrated and the best in the whole franchise. Yeah, it's my favorite as well. I actually feel like Elder Scrolls in general just has really good music, though, across a lot of them. But it's kind of funny. I played Morrowind for the first time last year. I think I've mentioned this before, but I had played Skyrim before that, many years ago. And I didn't realize so many of Skyrim's best themes are actually just Morrowind themes, which is kind of funny. But I think Daggerfall's music is the best for me as well. It's my favorite. I only think of all the memes with the Skyrim encounter music. Yeah. I put on Daggerfall music when I play Worms with my friends. Nice. Man, I can remember playing Worms back in the day. Offline, I mean, in front of all using the same keyboard together with friends taking turns. That's some good old memories. We got expertise in blunt and axe. We're forbidden from hand to hand. That's a little unfortunate. All right, we got expertise and short blade, and that's also our main weapon skill, so that's kind of lucky. Critical weakness to frost is really not bad. If you're going to be weak to any element, frost is probably the best to get. Phobia to undead, phobia to Deja, and phobia to humanoid. That's terrible. Oh, look at these. They're so funny. We basically can't use half of the materials. And no shields. All right, we'll see how this goes. This looks bad right here, this layout here. That Minotaur's kind of bugging out, too. Oh, we did get the shopkeeper right next to us, though, so that's kind of interesting. Shpan, you are a musician. I wouldn't really call myself a musician, but I do know how to play the piano and the drums. I have a lot of years on drums, and I've been playing piano since my freshman year of high school, so a long time on piano too, but I don't play it often anymore. It's been a long time, actually, since I've played it. I was never great at anything, though. I'd say I was just like an intermediate piano player, nothing special. But I like it a lot. I mean, I love music, but yeah. I did try to compose a little bit when I was in high school as well, for fun. I don't know if you guys are familiar with an old program called Tabit, but I got into that because my brother played guitar, and it was an easy way to write music. How does he breathe? The Argonians actually have underwater breathing with this mod on. Otherwise, yeah, we would be pretty screwed there. You're a man of culture as well. I try. But yeah, I think if I still had my old keyboard in the house, I probably still would play some piano, at least for fun every now and then. Maybe I'd do some Daggerfall covers for the channel. That'd be kind of funny. We're so slow. What's this character's speed? This character's speed is 70. Why are we so slow? I have no idea why this character feels so slow. You see the little dodge we can do with this mod, though? The little burst of speed we get? It's kind of sick. It's actually a very small inclusion from Jet that added to this mod, but I really like it. You take up a little extra stamina to do that, though. Yeah, there's no way this character is going to be able to do this. But we'll try it out until we die. Oh, the shopkeeper. Oh, yeah, right. Wait a sec, is that already the exit? Oh, man, look at us, guys. Look at us. The first Abyssal dungeon success. Easy. I think we just happened to spawn right on top of it. Which is kind of funny. Let's go underneath here and actually see what the Abyssal entrance looks like. Because it is in the actual world. Oh, it's super laggy, though. Oh, interesting. It's actually designed... Oh, okay, I see how it works. There's like a dungeon entrance point in the actual ocean. Okay, I gotcha. That's pretty cool, honestly. It's a bit of a shame that I didn't actually run into these organically when I was doing the pirate playthrough. But hey, that counts as a win. We'll take it. Yeah, how does that shopkeeper survive? A water walking spell would be great. Yeah, something like that. I think you can get water walking. I forgot which. This one has it. Is water walking from alteration? It might be an alteration spell. So if you build a character with alteration as your highest magic skill, then you should start with it in this mode, if I'm understanding how it works. Oh, it could be a thaumaturgy spell, actually. Abyssal ain't got nothing? That's what I'm saying. Hey, what's up, Blooming Roses? What's that dodging mod you mentioned? They have a dodging mods now? This is actually built into... it's actually built into Iliac Puddle No More. So it's kind of cool. In this mod, yeah, see here, enable swim stroke. So you can press run while swimming for a short burst of speed. And if you look here, if I press it, I'll get a little dodge. And this only works underwater. But I thought it was a really nice inclusion because it actually allows you to dodge stuff underwater. And that's very hard to do in the base game. But as you can see in my stamina bar there, using this little dodge takes up a little burst of stamina. So, yeah, it's not free, but it's still a really nice option. I was using it to dodge some of the Lich's projectiles earlier. It's pretty good, actually. Shopkeeper just drinks all the water. Maybe the shopkeeper's disguise is Argonian. That could be true. Using some kind of alteration spell to hide their identity. All right, that worked out, but not because it was a good build for this. So let's try that one more time, and then we'll go back to a custom class that we actually can fight stuff with in this mode. But yeah, this is Abyssal. These are definitely the hardest dungeons for this mode, it feels like. I wonder if I should just go purely random on level, but I feel like if you start out as a low level, there's just no shot for this. So maybe we want to go like 15 actually instead. Dodging mods, what's next? True directional movement, port to Daggerfall. Yeah, the dodge is only for underwater. Something like that would be really cool just in general for the game. I wonder how... I mean, that would change combat so much. But it would be interesting. And I'm sure some people would love that. A high speed stat already makes you very capable of dodging most stuff in this game. So, yeah, I wonder how that would be. Yeah, I feel like we always start out with a Lich right in front of us. That's insane. We got 28 strength, 17 intellect. Nice. Medical Impish Mysticism. That's an incredible primary skill choice there. Hey, at least we got the short blade. That's something. We can work with that. We start with open. That's terrible. We have such low int anyway. We'll never be able to cast a spell with this character. Yeah. Well, at least we can use some materials like Elven and Dwarven, so that's something, I guess. We got spell absorption and darkness. That's kind of crazy. But we have no spell points anyway. I feel like we're never going to be able to cast anything, so this will probably be kind of useless. Did we get expertise? Oh, we got forbidden from Shortblade. Oh, man. Hey, we're immune to fire, actually. That could be kind of good against this. Let me check my inventory here. All we got is the Iron Dagger. Yeah. All right. So we can't even hurt this guy. We just got paralyzed as well. Oh, man. This mode's so funny. All right, so this is kind of cool. This is good information. We know that we need a custom class for this. All right, so let's get back to the custom class options here. Let's first choose Argonian. Let's choose level 15. And we're going to need another really beefy character here. I think our first build was working kind of well until we got that little crash. So let's try this again. Let me catch up on chat as well. TDM would be so good for Daggerfall. This game's got the boomer shooter style movement that would be like peanut butter and chocolate when you combine it with a dodging mod. Yeah, it would be really cool. Yeah, I was thinking more like top down, so it almost becomes like Diablo. That would be kind of sick as well. Yeah, now we're getting into really cool combat overhauls with ideas like that. Right, let's just name them Adventure here. All right, so we want Restoration. We know that. We also want Hand-to-Hand. And Dodging's pretty good. Animal Taming could be useful. Necromancy, we definitely want Necromancy as well. We keep seeing the Liches. If we could even pacify one of them, we'll be in a good spot, I think. Critical Strike is useful. What else did we say? Oh, yeah, we want Swimming as well. That's good. Maybe Daedric? I'm not sure. I wonder what kind of language skill affects like Minotaurs and Trolls. That could be Giantish. Does that sound right to you guys? I feel like that's probably right. Let's grab that. I guess Mercantile we can take for the Shopkeeper. And maybe Backstabbing could be useful. Stealth could also be good. Yeah, we'll take Stealth. We're going higher on Strength. We're maxing out Intelligence so we can actually cast stuff in this mode. We're going to dump all of our personality. Doom and Daggerfall when? Yeah. I actually would like the idea of like isometric Daggerfall. How crazy would that be? We do need a lot of speed as well. It's our only shot to really dodge stuff underwater. We're going to go 3 times int again. Where's that? Increase majory, 3 times int. We'll do immunity to paralysis. Let's just grab it. Why not? Expertise in hand-to-hand. Bonus to hit against undead. I mean, we could do spell absorption and darkness as well. See how that feels for us. Adrenaline rush is really cheap and kind of good. By cheap, I mean it costs very little. So we might as well grab that. And regenerate health while immersed in water. Since we can't rest, that might help us. All right. Disadvantages, we don't care about daylight magic. We're forbidden from all armor. That's fine for us. Actually, maybe we shouldn't do that. We don't really have to stick that like closely to a monk if we don't want to. Giantish governs interaction with giants, gargoyles, and trolls. Gotcha. Okay, that's perfect. We know there can be some trolls down here, so that's good. Gargoyles as well. I didn't realize that. You think you could do a necromancer run in the abyss? Yeah, I feel like why not? I'll just have to use the console commands to set it up, but we could definitely try that. Let's do that after this run, actually, because yeah, we have all the spells for it. Let's see here. We can get rid of some materials here, like steel, some of the more expensive ones. Maybe Daedric. Actually, Daedric is very little. So maybe silver. And ebony as well. Yeah, why not? Mithril, why not? Armor type. I kind of want to keep the armor types just in case we find something. We can at least wear it. I guess inability to regenerate spell points is actually fine, right? Because we can't rest down here anyway. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. It's going to give us so much HP point options here. All right, so we're maxed on that anyway. Let's do this. We got the Abyss. We're Argonian. We got the Adventure, level 15. Let's start this. I'm actually going to save here just in case we crash again. And this dungeon has 230 enemies, so this is an absolutely massive dungeon that we got this time. So, all right, this is a cool one for us to test the custom playthrough. We're already getting hit, though. Let's save real quick. All right. This guy's already chunking us. Come on. Okay. We don't even get a heal spell, though, unfortunately. We'll put this to our hotkey, but That is unfortunate. So we only have a potion of stamina. And we can't rest, and we got no life right now. Wow, this is really challenging, actually. This is actually kind of cool. It makes me wonder if, how interesting it might be if I set my own restriction on the other roguelike runs to not be allowed to rest. And we need a switch to open that. This actually might be a soft lock starting area, since the only way to open this is a switch. But I think the switch is only on the other side, because you're not normally supposed to be able to spawn down here. Yeah, as you can see here, the top is locked with one of those switch doors. And in a normal situation, you would never spawn here. This is like a quest marker location. So it's possible to spawn here for the roguelike mode, but not normally. So that's kind of fun. We might be just soft locked here. I'll look around again, but I'm pretty confident. Yeah, there's no switch here. Looks like we'll be doing that Necromancer run sooner than I thought here. I guess I could force myself to clip through, right? I could just do fast flying to clip through, since there's a soft lock here anyway. And now we can turn that off. All right, that kind of works, I guess. Ooh, we got a dead humanoid, which means there could be a potion here. Nah, nothing great. All right, we got some stuff. Learn spell Fireball. Nice. Okay, that's actually kind of useful here. That could be good. And we got a tower shield on now. All right, this is not too bad of a start. I can't believe we can't rest here. It's crazy. All right, let's save again in case we crash. Can you cheat just to get through? Yeah, I think that's what we have to do here, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sorry about the chat delay, guys. I'll have to do some research on that after the stream's done today. I don't remember having a delay issue on my last stream, so that might be something new that I did to mess that up. All right, at least we got a restoration spell that actually can bring back our stamina, so that's kind of good. Okay, we got a slaughterfish here. Maybe we can pacify it. Right, at least we didn't die. It looks like I wasn't able to actually pacify it, though, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if maybe the abyssal dungeons you can't do that for. I'm not sure. All these trolls are constantly drowning and then coming back up. Haven't played Hexen. No, I've heard about it though. Hexen, wasn't there actually another game also? It was Hexen and something similar. But yeah, Hexen's kind of like a Doom style fantasy game, right? I thought it looked very cool. And Hexen, I think it's also Brahm's artwork, right? Which made it even sicker. For the cover art, I mean. Can I rest here? We got... Oh, that would have been sick. Oh, Heretic. Yeah, you guys are right. Exactly. Yeah, Hexen and Heretic. I haven't played either, but they both look really sick. That would be a cool one for the channel. At least for the live streams, maybe, to try out one day. Yeah, I love the idea of using like a Doom combat system and then having fantasy elements. Like that's just very, very cool to me. Had a good like sense of speed as well. Someone's knocking on the door here. It's a Lamia. Oh, we actually didn't die. Man, we need a heal potion or a heal spell so badly. If we can run into the shopkeeper, there's a chance that we could maybe buy a spell that would let us heal. I can't believe if restoration's your highest skill, I can't believe you get heal fatigue rather than heal health. That would be amazing. Let's grab the fireball though for now anyway. There's an alternate timeline where Idsoft made their RPG. Oh yeah? What were they? Like an open world one? That would have been crazy. Yeah, I didn't even know they were going for that. What, it just got canceled or something, maybe? Heretic is more Doom-like with a fantasy coat of paint. Hexen is all about switch hunting in deep dungeons. Interesting. I might like Heretic more then. Oh man, we got a Lich here. Hey, we actually lived because of our spell absorption. That was insane. Alright, now that we got Fireball, there's actually, even with this low health, there's a chance we could do this. We just need like one drop for some kind of health spell. All enemies drowned? Yeah. Yeah, half the... Oh, you're right. Literally all enemies drowned. That's so funny. I thought you were making like a joke when you said that, but no, you're right. Like, actually, literally every enemy has drowned now. That's so funny. 90 of 90. That's so crazy. I guess the Lich couldn't drown, right? Liches don't drown in this game, so that's why he was still standing. That's so funny. Quake was supposed to be an RPG, if I remember correctly. Quake was originally supposed to be an RPG, but they ended up making another shooter. That's crazy. Is there any footage out there of what it was originally going to look like before it turned into a shooter, or is it just kind of early on in the development they swapped? It's so dark in here right now. Let me turn off my shield here so we can see a little better. Yeah, that's so funny, though. Literally every enemy is drowned down here now. It would be cool if in the settings we could, like, choose the enemy type. But I feel like that's probably very difficult to do. Because it's generating a dungeon already. I'm not sure if that's even possible. Without some difficult modding stuff. But, yeah, choosing, like, a full undead for the abyssal dungeons would be cool. Because the undead shouldn't drown. Looks like there's some secret door here, maybe. Oh, just a teleporter, right? Okay. I guess we could still die to a troll, though. Oh, the fatigue. I wasn't even looking at it. Wow, I still managed to die with every enemy dead in the dungeon. Oh, man. That's impressive. I somehow managed to get myself killed when I had a heal stamina spell as well. Alright, let's try a regular one this time. Let's go back to Dungeons of Daggerfall, see if we can get some other custom dungeons for this. And we'll go pure random. And I'll let you guys choose the class if you want. Dungeon became soup. Yeah, that's kind of funny that I wasn't even looking at the stamina bar there. Pure Chaos? Okay, let's do it, bang. Let's do Pure Chaos again here. Pure Chaos is really fun for these non-Abyss ones. And I think I do want to try Dungeons of Daggerfall again, just because I think Necromancer? Okay, yeah, let's actually do Necromancer first. I said that last time, right? Let's do Necromancer first, then we'll do a Pure Chaos afterwards. I'll have to go custom for Necromancer then. And I don't know, Yuval, do you want me to import some of the Necromancer spells or just build something more basic here? Because I could just also grab the actual Necromancer spells from the mod, if you like. Then we can have a real proper Necromancer build. But yeah, first let's grab Necromancy, of course. If we're going the mod route, then I need to grab Mysticism, because Mysticism is the most important governing magic for it. I guess we could also grab... Sure, if it's not much effort? No, yeah, it's fine. It'll just be... It's really easy with the console commands, actually. And, what else could be good here? I guess just Destruction's fine. Oh, you missed the Necromancer live stream? Yeah. Yeah, that was cool for me. I actually forgot to cover one part of it, so I might still do that in this stream today. I forgot to go over the Seance mechanic, and I think that was a really cool addition by Vox. Vox added like this Seance system that you can do in dungeons. If you kill enough enemies, you can start a Seance, and then a spirit will guide you to your quest objective. And that's just kind of a really cool concept. And it's actually got really intelligent AI. It'll show you which switches have to be hit, or levers or anything else like that. So it's kind of cool. All right, we'll get Alteration as well. Might as well. Thaumaturgy could be useful. We're not going to grab Illusion. Instead, we'll just get other language skills, I think. Getting a pacification on Daedric could be really good, or animals could be really good as well. Might as well get Dodging. Medical and Mercantile are good. And maybe one weapon skill, like a short blade, a little dagger for our Necromancer here. Where's that? And what else? Impish, I guess. We're definitely going to need 3 times Magery again in this mode for this, if we're actually going to be using spells. Expertise and short blade, why not? Too scary? Yeah, actually, it's really cool. His setup, he's got a lot of different visual mods than I do. It actually is pretty intense atmosphere in dungeons that he's got. I'm not sure if he's using the Dream mod or something else like that, but yeah, it looks really good, actually. A lot of people these days are capturing a very cool dark fantasy look for Daggerfall. And I'm tempted to give it a try myself one day. I don't know. I'm always been a fan of Daggerfall's like original art style, but it could be cool to try someday, just to spice things up for one playthrough, maybe. What else do we not need here? We don't need any daylight magic casting. I don't think I want to grab a phobia, but maybe we'll also ban plate armor for our Necromancer. We want to get this pretty high up, but we don't really care about how hard it is to advance, since we're not really going to be leveling up. So I think that's actually okay like this. All right, so we got our Necromancer. It looks good here. Mysticism is what we really need. Oh yeah, let's drop some of these and get our attributes correctly here. We'll max our ints, and then speed is always good. I guess we kind of want some endurance as well. We might as well. And I think that's probably good enough. We got 30 on this. We got the Magery. The original Daggerfall was already kind of dark, especially when you compare it to modern video games. Yeah, that's definitely true. And also with the Unity settings to control the dungeon lighting, it already looks pretty good in that way. I think I have mine turned up just because the Abyss dungeons were really dark for me for some reason. That could be part of my settings as well. And if we're going Necromancer, we have to get kind of high on level here because the higher our level, the more likely we are to keep them in our control, I think. Hey, what's up, Keaton? Daggerfall is quite spooky. I had an idea that a horror genre total conversion mod would be cool. I actually think that's, like, I think you're absolutely right about that because when I first started Daggerfall, it's kind of weird now. I never feel this way now. But when I first started Daggerfall, I actually got a couple like jump scares in dungeons. Like partially because of like the tight corners and there could just be like an enemy in your face since you're first person and the noises. But yeah, I did kind of feel like on my very first few hours of Daggerfall, and maybe because I was also kind of worried about dying because I didn't understand the game that well. I didn't know what kind of enemies I'd be facing and stuff, but yeah, I definitely feel like it could be horror adjacent and the right mods could really build like a nice kind of like survival horror story thing. It's almost like you could design a dungeon to be like a little short survival horror story. I could imagine a mod doing that. All right, let's go with this. I should not have chosen dungeon size any. Hopefully this isn't a small dungeon. That'd be really sad. I hope I didn't just make a mistake there. Oh, okay, cool. Let's open up the show Spellmaker. Let's make our Necromancer here. I'm actually going to need some gold to do that, right? So let's add 5,000 gold so we can make our spells, and then let's go build out our Necromancer here. We'll just get a couple things here. Oh, actually, I don't know if the mod author made them into spell effects that you could actually craft. Oh, I think you can't craft, but there definitely is a console command. Let me check on Nexus mod real quick, because I know for sure that there is a console command just to grab them all, so that's even easier than me trying to build them. I'll check this real quick. Let's see. The skeleton roar? Yeah, the skeleton roar is definitely one of the most iconic and definitely creepy sounds in Daggerfall. Daggerfall would work better than most RPGs with horror since you don't feel compelled to 100% every dungeon like other games. Running is more viable. Yeah, that's a good point too. You actually could design sort of the... I guess what's kind of fundamental to survival horror is resource management as well. So Daggerfall actually fits that kind of nicely. You're not always fighting everything. Okay, Astrid_book. We can add the book to our inventory. Embrace_darkness. Okay, let's do that. So this should just give us everything. That's even easier. I don't know why I didn't think of that first. All right, nice. Now we got all of our spells here. And actually, speaking of that, we might be able to do the seance in the roguelike dungeon itself. That's kind of funny. All right, so we want Command Undead on our 5 slot. We'll put Dismiss on 9. Subjugate Undead, we'll put this on 8. This is a great spell. In case you accidentally lose control of your reanimated monster, you have a chance to bring it back under your control, which is nice. I think Death Knell, yeah, you can destroy a corpse to restore your health and mana. So let's also put that on one of our things here. Corpse Explosion's one of our key damage spells. We'll put that on 2. And what else do we want here? I guess Reanimate Skeleton's good, early on at least. We gotta kill this guy first, though. I don't even know if he could be hurt by... Oh, hey, we got the pacification, even better. The Underking? Yeah. The story and stuff has some spooky themes already, too. Yeah, absolutely. A persistent enemy that slowly follows you through the dungeon and cannot be killed until you get the quest item. That's an awesome idea for Daggerfall. Oh, man, that's actually perfect. That's got to be the coolest way to make it feel survival horror-ish. And maybe there could be some kind of resource that you can use to, temporarily paralyze it. And that can give you 20 seconds before it starts following you again. Oh man, that could be so sick. I feel like that's also doable too. Just like make an enemy that has some kind of invulnerability flag on it. And then I guess the one thing you'd have to work on with the modding is somehow make it chase you no matter how far away you get. But that is actually a great idea for Sip. I think what adds to the spookiness of Daggerfall is there's no dialogue, adds to the solitary vibe. Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me, Blooming Roses, of kind of reminds me of some of like the older King's Field games that are also spooky for a similar reason. They're kind of spooky because it's just strange. There's a strangeness to the atmosphere, a strangeness to the vibe. Oh man, we're pacifying everything. Hi Shpan, my hero. What's up, Zavi? Hope you're doing well. My hero. We're just doing some roguelike runs here. We tried out the Abyss stuff already, and it was pretty cool but pretty intense. Man, we're succeeding on like every single pacification attempt, but kind of struggling to get them to actually join us. But this will at least give us some corpses, so we can raise some undead here. First thing I think we want is an Ancient Lich. Hopefully we succeed. Oh, I can't use an undead corpse. Oh yeah, duh. That makes a lot of sense. These guys don't want to follow me, unfortunately. We'll have to pull some enemies to them, then. Someone's got to get on that immortal snail idea. The strangeness has been lost in the modern RPG era, sadly. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually one of the really cool things about some of the older ancient... Is that what it's called? Oh, no, it's called Ancient City. The Kingsfield 4. I felt like really captured that well. And so did another launch game for the PlayStation 2 called Eternal Ring. And that was actually also made by From Software. I don't think it's as good as the Kingsfield games, but I have a lot of nostalgia for it. But that was another game that was just like extremely strange. And just the atmosphere was really thick, and there was like an uneasiness to it all because of how strange the NPCs acted and the low amount of dialogue. Kind of like lonely and isolated world where there's really only you. But yeah, Daggerfall definitely captures that as well. It's kind of unfortunate that this is an undead... Alright, I actually want to fight this guy. I keep pacifying them, but let's try to actually bring him over to our other guys. Let's bring this guy over. Maybe we can use his corpse for a lich. Where did I park my skeleton? I'm going the wrong way. Oh no. I don't even remember where I put them. Maybe to the left here? Come on over, my ghoul friend. Yeah, this looks right. Skeletons look great in this dungeon terrain. Yeah, I really like the new... A lot of these new terrains you're seeing are from the Daggerfall Dungeon Variety mod. And I think it looks really, really nice, some of these. I have no idea where I'm going for where I brought them. Let's just try to kill this guy ourselves, actually. We have an iron dagger, so we're doing, like, no damage, probably. Alright, that wasn't too bad, actually. Alright, I should be able to use... The thing is, this guy is actually an undead, right? So I probably still can't use his corpse. Yeah, it's so funny. We can't use this... Like, this dungeon just happens to be an undead dungeon, so... Oh, man, that's hilarious. Maybe there'll be some more humanoids out here. The one time we make a necromancer, we get a little trolled by the roguelike mode here. Ancient City is one of my favorites in the series. It's a definitive PS2 game for me. Yeah, me too. I also have a lot of nostalgia for it, honestly, just because it was one of those early games that I played. My middle school years were mostly PlayStation 2. Oh, this is where I was. Alright, we can bring some more enemies over to them then. Did you ever play Eternal Ring, Keaton? All right, here's another normal human. We can actually use this guy's corpse then. That's good. All right, let's try. We actually have an Elven Mace here, which might just be better than using the Iron Dagger, actually. Even though we're not proficient in it, I think it's still a little stronger for us. All right, let's try to bring up the Ancient Lich. All right, we didn't lose control over him. Now this guy's going to destroy the dungeon here. Let's see if he can get him to follow us. And he joined us. All right, we're sitting pretty now. Let's rest with him by our side here. He'll protect us. And he died because my mysticism skill is not good enough. Oh, man. What's my mysticism at? What was that all about? 71? That's not too bad, but yeah. All right, lesson learned. We got to rest before we bring up the Ancient Lich. Ancient City, oh yeah, I read that. The Friend Dungeon, yeah. Unfortunately for us. Hey, there's the exit anyway. I'm still going to hang out a little bit longer, though. I want to check out some more of this, but just an idea. I thought it'd be cool if when resurrecting undead, they always hostile, and you need to defeat them or pacify them to gain control as their master. Yeah, I can see that being really cool. I mean, I feel like the idea of wrestling control with your undead creatures as a necromancer is like a core part of the class fantasy. I feel like a big part of necromancy is that it can be dangerous to the caster as well. And I always like that concept. I think it could be really cool, yeah, that just rezzing them up is not enough. You have to use subjugate undead or at least defeat them to bring them under your control. Alright, these two should fight each other. I gotta bring the monk over a little bit. There he goes, now he realizes. Alright, we got an epic duel here. Monk versus Skeletal Warrior, it was not even close, huh? Oh, we got a cure on disease, that's pretty good. We can wear this as well. Do you have the chalk mod installed? Yes, I do. But in the roguelike mode, I don't have any chalk on me, unfortunately. But in a normal playthrough, yeah, I usually keep the chalk on me, which is cool. Lord Harkin joins the party, disintegrates 2 seconds later, yeah. Yeah, I probably should have rested before I grabbed him. Yeah, Eternal Ring is an oddball, but a fun remix. I prefer Shadow Tower. Yeah, Shadow Tower is a cool one, too. Yeah, Eternal Ring, I did enjoy the magic system of building your own rings, because some of the spell effects are pretty fun in Eternal Ring. But Eternal Ring's also, it was too short, in my opinion. Yeah, it's much shorter than Kingsfield 4. And a little weirder. The ending always freaked me out in Eternal Ring 2. When that baby turns into the adult, and that weird voice actor gives that creepy line, that always kind of freaked me out when I was younger. Oh, this is a really cool interior. Check this out, man. With this like white marble tiling, like this looks really, really nice. Exactly. Yeah, I think that probably would capture the, at least my opinion of like necromancy, class fantasy a little better. No, it ought to be dangerous and risky business. Yeah, that's how I feel too. For both the caster and the caster's victims. Wheel of Time type stuff. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Wheel of Time. I haven't. That's a long book series, right? Like an epic fantasy novel. There was a Wheel of Time PC game as well, right? It actually looked kind of cool. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Let's go back to the dagger here, actually. This might be better. I saw that there was like a first-person fantasy game for Wheel of Time on GOG a long time ago, and I was like, I've never actually read the books, but for something about it looked really cool to me. That was hilarious. He just fell to his death. Alright, now we can res a nice Lich here. Let's just grab a normal Lich. Reduce the chance that it goes against us. Get him, my minion. Oh, he paralyzed him. Actually, maybe not. Nah. Alright, now we're in a good spot here. And we can equip some of this, maybe. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And let's get a vampire here as well. All right, now we're building up our army. Oh, we can also use this. That's pretty good. I remember building this in Minecraft 15 years ago. Oh, man, that's insane. And impressive. All right, get them, my minions. Yeah, you can press this command undead to teleport them right in front of you. It's a really, really cool addition to this mod, too. So if they're kind of far away, just press that button, and then they just pop right next to you. Although the AI is really, really good in this mod, so they don't really get stuck. But if they do, you got an option, which is nice. Ooh, a holy dagger. This sells for a lot, so that's always good, too. Let's also equip this formal cloak. We'll take the... Can I take the hood off? Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. There's your fall damage you're talking about? Yeah, exactly. It's really cool, actually, because even right here, here's a good example. Like, there are a lot of steep staircases and hallways in Daggerfall. And if you use a mod like Mighty Foot, yeah, you can really kick enemies off and kill them with fall damage. It's really cool. But yeah, that guy just kind of killed himself accidentally. Real-time PC game pioneered FPS with spellcasting mechanics. Also had good multiplayer. That's really sick. Yeah, actually, you know, I had no knowledge of real-time story or anything, but the artwork is really cool for the cover art, so it kind of got me interested in looking at it. And then, yeah, the combat looked nice, actually. But yeah, that's cool. I feel like I would really enjoy a nice first-person fantasy-centered like FPS like that. Seance will show you the way out of the dungeon. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually, I'm not sure if it does or doesn't, but we should test that anyway because we should have killed enough now. Yeah, so no quest calls from the depths. Wait, I want to read what that said. What did that say? It said... No quest calls from these depths, the shade turns back toward daylight. So that must be telling us that he is bringing us to the entrance. I think he is. Let's go. And look how cool this looks. It'll wait for you. All right, let's get our legion to kill this monk here. And let's bring up something else. How about a... Let's go with a mummy. Yeah, he waits for you. He'll lead you forward. That's so cool. I really feel like this necromancy mod is just like... It goes way beyond the scope of what I was expecting. I was expecting, you know, a couple different cool summons, maybe some, you know, utility spells, but designing the seance to help you find quest items as a necromancer, I mean, that's just so cool. Having spells like Corpse Explosion and Death Knell, yeah, he did bring me to the exit. That is crazy. And then he disappears right there. Man, that's so cool. Absolutely insane. I didn't show this off in the live stream last time because I forgot about the seance, but yeah, that's another really, really cool addition from this mod. And wow, we got a beautiful sky in Daggerfall today. Yeah, I feel like Necromancer is pretty strong for this roguelike mode as well. But actually, probably only at higher levels. If you're doing a lower level run, I feel like Necromancer is kind of a liability. The lower your mysticism skill, the harder it'll be for you to keep these guys under your control. And if a single lich turns against you, that could be GG. That was really cool, though. I kind of wish I remembered to check out the seance during the live stream, just because that's my only like mod showcase of it. So I am going to cover it though in a different mod video. I'm doing one that's based on It's like a compilation. So once I do that video, which I'm hoping will go live next week. I got a lot of different videos to be doing though. Oh, one of them just died. Looks like my lich died. But yeah, I'm gonna do a mod compilation video, and I finally have a pretty cool looking thumbnail for it, so I'm kind of excited. I hope that video does well. It's gonna be kind of like our August mod showcase video, but it's gonna be a little bit broader than that. Just because there's been so much cool mod content recently. Let's see where in the world this was. This is Totambu, and we were at the Morkeler Rectory. Interesting. Feels wrong to say, but the more mods that come out, the more it brings out of Daggerfall, and the more it makes me think vanilla Daggerfall didn't meet its full potential. Still love this game vanilla, but still, yeah, I would agree with that. Generally, I feel like Daggerfall is one of those games that is really, really elevated by a few mods, and I feel like the modding scene has been so good at capturing this sort of great blending of the original foundation of systems that Bethesda made with Daggerfall, with the sort of content that really helps elevate the experience, in my opinion, especially the role-playing experience. But there's just some key things that vanilla Daggerfall doesn't have, like more accessible and practical traveling, that it would be so hard for me to go back to vanilla at this point, honestly. Yeah, I do feel like vanilla Daggerfall has like a really, really great foundation of systems. They interact well with each other. But yeah, the modding scene is all the extra important decorations and details to that foundation. And then together it just creates like the sickest sandbox role-playing game that I've ever played. But yeah, I think you're mostly right about that for sure. All right, now let's do the pure chaos that Bang was suggesting. Let's try that again. Pure chaos is definitely better for non-abyss, I think. Just because there's a couple things you have to make sure that you got for the abyss dungeons, like underwater breathing and stuff. What level? Maybe we should try a lower level one this time. Let's go with like level 5 and see how that feels on pure chaos. I don't know if I've done that before. That'll be kind of interesting. And let's make sure we don't go to small. Let's choose a large dungeon, and I want to keep doing Dungeons of Daggerfall. This is SquidKamer's mod, because I want to see if the custom dungeons are possible for the roguelike mode. Now, you're right, bro. I always wanted Daggerfall 2, but they went a different way. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been crazy to see a Daggerfall 2. I can't even imagine what they would have gone with. Agreed, I could disable most of my mods, but without travel options in World of Daggerfall, I just can't do it. Yeah, those two are just absolutely necessary for me. Yeah, I just can't imagine Daggerfall without those anymore. Oh, this is a really sick-looking interior. This kind of looks like a vampire haunt. This might be a vampire haunt. Oh man, my character is so slow. What happened here? We're gonna panic, try to pacify someone here. Oh, we're failing on everyone. Let's see what we got on this. We got... Yeah, I've never felt speed this slow. I was like, what was that attack swing? It's because we have 19 speed. That's insane. This is the first time I've ever controlled with such low speed. It feels so crazy. I recommend it if you guys haven't tried it, just out of hilarious this feels. Orcish, Mercantile, and Medical. Okay, not great. At least we got a weapon skill in the major slot. I'll take it. And let's see what we got here. Hey, we actually got expertise in blunt weapon, which is nice because that's our main weapon skill. Phobia to animals. No wonder I couldn't hit him. That makes sense now. Lots of banned materials here. We can use the tower shield. That's kind of nice. And we can use plate armor. That's also nice. Spell absorption. Interesting. This is such a weird spread of advantages and disadvantages. I don't even know what to think about that. But this speed alone is going to get us killed. Let's just try to run from these guys first. That's not a real door right there. I know that. We got a switch here. This is such a cool looking interior. Man, I got the mod to cover up the nymphs, and we got paralyzed anyway. I don't want to look at her when she's killing me because of the mod I had to dress the nymphs was actually working in the last stream, but or I guess 2 streams ago it worked. But not right now. Which is exactly what, I don't know who in the chat told me in my last Daggerfall stream, but yeah, they mentioned that it doesn't always work. Yeah, I don't want to look at them right now. All right, this is why I stopped going low-level dungeons. Let's try this again, but with a higher one. Let's try like level 14. Let's go Pure Chaos again. Another Dungeons of Daggerfall, and let me catch up on chat first. Let's see here. That's why I hope Wayward Realms becomes a thing. That's the closest we'll get to Daggerfall 2. Otherwise, modded Daggerfall is a great substitute anyway. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Wayward Realms is like, I do feel like it's still the most promising, though I know they've had some troubles and difficulties, of course. But yeah, I'll definitely still be keeping my eye out on that game. Especially once they release that, like, their major first trailer, once they get some more work done on it and they're, like, ready to show something, I'll be excited to talk about that. We'd be on Daggerfall 7 by now, yeah. It's the 3 wolves from Riverwood before their claim to fame. They've come. Oh, the ones from Riverwood. There's a book in Morrowind that relate to what would have been the plot for Daggerfall 2. It's called The First Hold Revolt, if I remember correctly. Interesting. Oh, it's kind of cool. So whatever story they had for Daggerfall 2, they just basically scrapped it and put it in the history books as part of like some background lore, maybe. And then in Morrowind, we have a separate story that's not really related to it, maybe? Is that how they decided to go with it? We've got Devil Spire Falls, Interkarma's game, Wayward Realms, and a couple of unnamed indies I've seen screenshots of. Some will get it right, hopefully. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful, and I feel good about the future of like the sandbox RPG genre. I do feel like it's having a bit of a renaissance. Even if it's just more in the form of Daggerfall Unity modding, I do think it's having kind of a moment here. And I have also seen some random screenshots of indie games. Can't think of all of them, but I saw a game called Broken Dagger. I don't know if it's going to be like incredible or not, but it's still cool to see some people trying. Love your content, sub. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Arena was a chore. Daggerfall Unity is enjoyable. Yeah, I only played a little bit of Arena. I like Daggerfall a lot more from what I played, but it's hard for me to judge Arena a little bit because I only put like 15 hours into it maybe or something like that. And there were some parts I liked, but yeah, for me, Daggerfall is my favorite Elder Scrolls game by far, so yeah. Also, I've been wanting to see this mod in action. I haven't seen one in game yet. Oh, the Abyss roguelike mode, maybe? Is that what you're talking about? What's up, Vox? How's it going? We just showed off your seance because I forgot to do it in my last stream when I was covering your necromancy mod. So we went over the seance thing. Very cool. And I really like how if there's no quest marker for the seance, it'll bring you to the exits. So that was really sick. Basically, yeah, though they adapted some very basic ideas like the tribunal. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like Morrowind might have the best story in the entire Elder Scrolls series. At least that's what I've heard from people. So that's kind of partly why I'm motivated to want to give it a better try than I have in the past. But yeah. Yeah, we tried out some of the Abyssal dungeons. They were pretty challenging. We're just going with some regular roguelike stuff here now. But yeah, this mod is a blast. I really like playing this. Daggerfall is going to be like gaming's Velvet Underground. Most people aren't going to play this game. But everyone who did will go on to make innovative games inspired by Daggerfall's idea. That's what I hope for. Yeah, I think there's been a good amount of people, and it is kind of weird how it's happening recently. I'm not really sure why, but I do feel like more recent times, there's just been a lot more talk about Daggerfall. I wonder if that's mostly because of Unity. we can't wear anything. I can't even imagine what disadvantages I got here. Look at this list. Oh, hey, this is finally a list with pure chaos that doesn't go off the screen, so that's nice. But yeah, I do feel like sandbox RPGs are, I don't know, getting some momentum these days. And I do think Unity is part of that excitement. Well, yeah, I do think the Wayward Realms, of course, also has something to do with that. And then, yeah, like you mentioned, some indie games that are trying to do this. I guess also Devil Spire Falls, right? Is that what it's called? Devil Spire Falls or something like that? Devil Spire Falls, yeah, that one also, I think, has gotten some traction, which helps the genre as well. I hope sandbox RPGs move away from crafting system. That ruins it for me. Yeah, I do think a lot of sandbox RPGs want to sort of like marry the genre with survival a lot. And I can kind of understand how they can be a good fit. But yeah, not everyone's gonna love that. Though I guess if it's just a crafting system, that's not necessarily survival mechanics, but I do feel like they all kind of tend to blend together for a lot of developers. And yeah, I'm not usually the biggest survival mechanics type of player, though I did enjoy Conan Exiles a decent amount. I put a decent amount of hours in that game. I thought it was pretty fun. But I don't really like playing Daggerfall in that way personally. But I can see why this happens a lot with developers, where there's sort of like this blending of crafting systems with sandbox RPGs. And yeah, I can kind of see where it comes from. I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs in the background. Been watching my sister's dogs this weekend. Skyrocketing prices will definitely push people towards smaller developments. Yeah, that too, for sure. And I also just think that a lot of indie developers will get rewarded for this design choice. I think there's enough of an audience out there that want more games like this and kind of struggle to find bigger studios doing it correctly. I forgot about Light No Fire, another one. Got excited when I heard about it, but when I saw them chopping down trees and building houses, I started to lose interest. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, not everyone's going to like that for their sandbox RPGs. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my preference either, if I could choose. Yeah, but I can also kind of understand where it comes from. I guess a lot of sandbox survival games are just, they're always going to have some light RPG mechanics. I guess that's also kind of the issue. There's almost no survival game that's not going to have some light RPG design, I feel like. Just because every game wants to have like a slower progression, or at least some kind of power progression for the character. But yeah. I don't know if I'd love that for Daggerfall. I'd have to try it out. I don't know. It's very different from Daggerfall. The main character, Morrowind, in the world is the world itself, and then Dumber culture, like a Star Trek story where you explore an alien culture. Yeah, that's really cool. I do kind of feel like, to me, that's almost what's most appealing to trying out Morrowind, is that I feel like the world building's going to be good, the narrative's going to be nice, the world itself is just going to be interesting. I've already heard about how the Dunmer culture is, a little bit at least. I didn't want to spoil too much for myself, so... but yeah, it's kind of exciting, because it's very different than Daggerfall, which is, I think, a good thing, that it's its own thing. I would expect Daggerfall would have more house mods, a castle house somewhere, and stuff like that. I guess it's harder to do than it seems, or it's not as interesting as I think it to be. Yeah, I think it is about the difficulty, probably. Because I also feel like it's a little surprising that there's not more life sim mechanics. And there has been a couple, though, recently. I think the forging mod is a little bit like that. The detailed ships mod, that's not that recent. That's kind of old. But the detailed ships mod really makes it feel like a lived-in space. And there's a couple others, but yeah, it's kind of surprising that there's not more like housing, specifically housing mods, I feel like, for Daggerfall. So I'm guessing it is pretty difficult to do. That would be my guess. I really hope someone makes a mod where you can build houses anywhere. I found so many scenic places in the wilderness where I was hoping to build a remote cabin. Sadly, no such mod so far. Yeah. I would just love the idea to like be able to tag any interior cell as a house. Something simple like that. And then I'd make the windmill a player house for one of my characters. I always thought that'd be cool. What kind of dog? She's got a Wheaton. Which is pretty cute. It's a small one, though. I guess they're generally kind of medium-sized dogs. I like crafting system and skill trees, but these days lots of games have half-assed them and really sour people's taste of them. It's associated with RPG Light, which usually means watered down. Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised at how many, even like reviewed RPGs have extremely watered down systems. Even ones that aren't even that modern. Like, I played Witcher 3 for the first time last year, and I just felt like, I don't know, I really disliked a lot of the RPG systems of Witcher 3. Almost to the point that it surprised me that it was designed that way. But I think, you know, Witcher 3 is a different type of RPG, obviously, and I love the character writing, I love the narrative. Some of the, you know, choices in the world were fun and had really interesting repercussions, and all that stuff was great. But the actual RPG mechanics of Witcher 3 and the combat itself, like, I absolutely hated it, honestly, to be completely honest. I thought the combat was like a complete chore for me. Enemies were like surprisingly spongy, I felt like. None of the skill trees felt like satisfying or particularly interesting. Yeah, but everything else I loved about it. And even if combat's bad for me, if narrator, like the narrative's really good and stuff like that, I can deal with it personally. But yeah, I don't know. Surprisingly watered down. But I guess that's true for a decent amount of like the very narrative-heavy RPGs, like Mass Effect as well, which I thought still had a great story and great characters and great writing. But yeah. Daggerfall plus dogs equals perfection, which brings me the idea for a pet companion mod. Yeah, I would love a pet companion mod. Sorry, I'm like running in circles here as I'm reading chat. My bad, guys. We're going for a Daggerfall dungeon walk as we chat. Which brings the idea for a pet companion mod. Yeah, that would be cool. That's one of my favorite parts about Language Skills Overhaul, of course, is the companions, but I would love like a more proper companion mods. That goes on the list like pretty high up for me as a type of mod content I'd like to see more of. Or at least not even see more of, but like really start seeing some decent options for. There's really not much for companion mods in Daggerfall, and I know it's hard. That's why I know it's very difficult. But yeah, that'd be very cool. Some kind of like an animal companion for a druid playthrough, or Green Knight, or even a ranger or something like that could be sick. Of course, this necromancy mod kind of gives you a little bit of your companion vibe, but yeah, that's still different than the animal companion, of course. Let me catch up on some chat. I think I missed some. I like crafting. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Morrowind systems were still super free and open. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's cool. I think Morrowind found a good balance. The only thing in Morrowind, when my first impression of it that I kind of wasn't that excited about, I would have loved to see come back from Daggerfall, was the advantages and disadvantages system. Because actually in my mind, I just assumed that Morrowind took the advantages and disadvantages system and actually probably just expanded it. Like, that's what I was expecting. So not only did they not expand it, but they actually completely scrapped it. So that definitely hurt. That made me sad when I saw that. But I know they built in their star system, right? So they got the what's it called? Birth signs, like, I guess is what they called them. So that's their own thing that they had going on. Best part about Witcher 3 is Gwent. Yeah, Gwent is a good one. I also really like, speaking of like mini games that are card games from RPGs, if you ever played the Might and Magic series, Archomage has got to be the absolute sickest side game, card game for any RPG. It's amazing. Witcher 1 was my favorite of the series. 2 was all right. 3 didn't finish. Oh, wow. Need to replay 2. Didn't try to enhance edition content. Oh, okay. Wow. Did you dislike 3 that much, Eric, that you felt like you couldn't even finish it? Or would you just not finish it for other reasons, maybe? I like the whole Witcher trilogy, but I found much of the game design flawed in really bizarre ways. Like, what were they trying to do? Yeah, I was kind of surprised by 2. I don't know. I actually prefer the way BioWare built Mass Effect for a narrative-heavy RPG, if you're going to go that route. But yeah, Mass Effect also was a massively watered-down RPG, obviously. But yeah, I'd still say I like The Witcher, though, 3. I didn't play Witcher 1 or 2, which I probably should, honestly. But the reason I like Witcher 3 is not because of its RPG mechanics, that's for sure. I just thought the character writing was good. I didn't love the central plot, but I loved the regional storylines and like some of the side quest designs and stuff. But the actual central plot, I didn't love either. But yeah, character writing was good. Decision making was impactful, and there was some good world reactivity that felt interesting. And then, of course, the voice actor performances were nice as well. One has one of the best gaming soundtracks. Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's cool. Anytime you can get good music in my RPGs, that's a huge bonus for me personally. Now you have Aethernox Sign, which is 90% of Daggerfall builds. Oh, really? Is it some kind of like strong magic build or something, maybe? The Vampire mod has a Dominate spell that lets you make anything except undead and Daedra using the same budget system and AI from the last mod, your companion. I mean, oh, that's really sick, Vox. Yeah, I was expecting some kind of Dominate concept to make it into the Vampire mod. That's kind of a classic for the vampire theme, but that's really cool. That's kind of interesting. So not just humanoids, huh? But anything except undead and Daedra. I like that. Yeah, it would be very weird if the vampire could actually dominate the undead. That would feel off, I think. So it's probably a good call. Archomage had the best sound effects. Yeah. Archomage, there's actually like a browser version of Archomage, so you could actually play it online without having any Might and Magic game, which is kind of funny. I think I found, maybe it's still up, maybe it's not, but I remember seeing it a long time ago. Yeah, Morrowind is shockingly different. I found it actually much harder than Daggerfall. Interesting, which surprised me. Anyone else feel like this? I did feel early on, but I only played a little bit of Morrowind, but I did feel like the combat was a little bit less obvious of how to play for me. Because you have a couple different options that aren't really in Daggerfall. Like you have the faster, quicker attacks and the longer, drawn-out ones. So you have a few more, like, I guess a little bit more player agency in how your strikes work, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, I died kind of early in Morrowind, but I also died very early in my first playthrough of Daggerfall. But in the case of Daggerfall, I think it's because my build was so bad that the first skeleton in Privateer's Hold, which is a classic, I feel like probably 90% of players die to the first skeleton in Daggerfall on their first playthrough. But yeah, for Daggerfall, I felt like the reason was my build was bad. In Morrowind, I have no idea if my build was bad or not, or if I just I was just playing bad as well. Could be a combination of both too. But yeah, I died in Morrowind in some like cave outside the starting town. You know the death scene in Daggerfall? That's what they did with the advantage-disadvantage system. Advantage-disadvantage are very important for role-playing, I think. Yeah, it's surprisingly a nice system for really fine-tuning the role-playing concept. I think I mentioned this exact example in the past, but you know, if you were building a paladin for Daggerfall, you would use that advantage and disadvantage system to really work its way into the class design. You would give yourself bonus to hit against the undead. You would give yourself, you know, maybe somewhere like 1.5 times int. Maybe you would give yourself a phobia of, or like, let's say you were playing a thief character that had like some kind of interesting backstory where they were abandoned or had to just maybe, I don't know, survive on their own. Some kind of wanderer, some kind of thief. Maybe you go phobia to humanoid and they don't like interacting with people. I mean, there's so many ways to take the disadvantage and advantage system and actually build that into the class fantasy, which is what's really nice about it. It's that extra fine tuning that is different than just a simple build. And that's always how I use it in Daggerfall. I don't really use it to capture like a power. I just use it to capture some kind of role-playing concept or class fantasy usually. And I think that's also what the original developers had intended, in my opinion. It just feels that way, that it was intended to be like that. But yeah, it complements role-playing really well. Let me rest. I'm just running around here. Sorry, guys. This might be boring to watch. Let's do a new run. Approach Witcher 1 with caution. 2 is my favorite, but it's kind of broken. Interesting, yeah. Is there like a fan-made patch maybe that fixed some budget bugs and stuff like that? I've been using that with a lot of older games. I'll usually be able to find some kind of like unofficial patch mod for them that can fix a lot of bugs. Witcher 3 just wasn't feeling it like the other two. Gotcha. Yeah, it's interesting. I do think that the combat almost made me want to not play anymore, actually. I really did not like Witcher 3's combat, and it kind of shocked me how it played. Yeah, that was really not for me personally. Yeah, I'm about to die on fatigue alone right here. It's kind of hard for us to get out of range and rest. We might just pass out before we can actually rest. Let's go for it. Hey, we actually got a decent rest here. Witcher 3 just wasn't feeling, yeah, like the other two, yeah. The Caravan card game in New Vegas is very cool. I've even played it IRL. Interesting. Oh, does that mean, does it use a normal deck of cards then? It probably does, right? That's kind of cool that you could then take that game and play it in real life. New Vegas is another one. I mentioned it a long time ago, but yeah, this is also on my backlog. I really got to play New Vegas. I picked it up for super cheap. Like I don't know if it was like 99 cents. It was just one of those really deep sales. So I grabbed New Vegas. It's the only Fallout game I'm interested in right now. I don't know, maybe Fallout 3 is also good. I know Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 are kind of classics of the CRPG genre, but Fallout 2 I could be interested in as well at some point, but New Vegas is what I want to play first, I think. Morrowind harder because it's not... This is water right here? Oh yeah, this is water. I'm not even paying attention. I'm reading the chat. Morrowind harder because it's not leveled, but it's also much easier because of it once you reach mid-game. Oh, interesting. You're saying I could have walked into like a... maybe like a level 3 or level 5 cave when I was only level 1, potentially, early on in the game or something like that. Hey, what's up, Fiffinger? Good to see you. How's it going? Some things are broken beyond fixing. Yeah, that's true. Especially for some of these older games. Which, some kind of bugs don't really usually bother me too much. If it's like really bad where it stops me from playing the game, then yeah, that's unfortunate. But I'm actually pretty tolerant to some bugs and glitches and stuff. Alright, we didn't go through this door, so maybe the exit could be around here. Oh, we actually can hit these guys with some... Oh, alright, maybe our hand-to-hand's not too bad then. Alright, we just tamed him. Easier than, I'm okay, you? Yeah, I'm doing good as well. We're just doing some of the, roguelike mode here. What exactly is an Abyss Dungeon in this mod? The Abyss Dungeon is a completely underwater challenge dungeon. It's got a lot of undead, a lot of high-level enemies. Yeah, it's completely underwater, so you kind of want to build a custom class if you're going to play it. It's a little bit challenging to use the pre-made classes for it. We did a bunch earlier, but yeah, it's actually very challenging. Fallout 3 is my personal favorite, but only because I had game-breaking bug on console with OP enemy spawning in Good Springs with New Vegas. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know New Vegas has like a ton of mod support, so I wonder if it's got some like unofficial patch mods that can fix bugs like that, but yeah, that's unfortunate, honestly. I can't remember the last time I've had a bug so bad that it stopped my progression in any game I've played, but yeah, that's really unfortunate when that happens. All right, let me catch up on chat here. My bad, guys. Let's see. Also, the nature of how advantage/disadvantages work. You can mod them into modern RPGs and it'll work seamlessly, and having to adapt both advantage and disadvantage means the game still stays balanced. We need them. Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah, they're nice also on a game balance perspective as well for class design. Though, for me personally, balance doesn't doesn't bother me too much. I don't care much about balance usually. You know, if I want to build a character that's either broken or overpowered, or if I want to build a character that's very weak, they're two different game experiences in my mind. And the fact that one is like much easier and one's much harder usually doesn't bother me or too much personally, but I know some people do care more about having like a more balanced system like that. Yeah, normal cards. We even changed it to be 3-player. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Kind of sick when games actually design it around an actual deck of cards that you could then play. Shpan, what are your thoughts of Oblivion? I know you didn't play it much. Any specific reason? Yeah, Yuval. I don't know. I feel like part of the reason I didn't play it that much was I didn't feel like I was in the right mood to enjoy it. That was definitely part of it. But I also, for some reason, just did not get captured by it quickly. Where I felt like with Morrowind and Daggerfall, I kind of very quickly got into the vibe and I was enjoying the atmosphere. I didn't really feel that way with Oblivion. I also don't like Oblivion's character creation system. It's kind of like Skyrim, in my opinion, a little bit. Where it doesn't really feel like you're building a specific type of thing, but more of this like generalist that's okay at everything. I never really liked that personally for RPGs. If you intentionally build like a hybrid build for a certain class, that can be cool too. And I know it doesn't have to be that way in Oblivion. I'm sure there are people that have, built classes that are interesting and cool. And I don't have the best grasp of the character creator, so I'm not coming from some like place of like deep knowledge on the game or anything. But it's just my first impression. I didn't love how the character creation was. On top of that, I didn't love the aesthetic that much. I didn't love the art style. So yeah, I guess just in general, it kind of failed to capture me early on like that. Then I put it down. But I did mean to come back to it. I do mean to still give it another try. Usually if I don't enjoy a game on my first attempt, I usually will still go back and give it another attempt at some point. And then if I still don't like it, then I'll probably put it down. But I do think I'll eventually revisit Oblivion at some point. But yeah, it was a combination of some factors. Fallout 1 is a great time. Tied with New Vegas for my favorite Fallout game. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's cool. I heard really good things about Fallout 2 as well. And I know they're both really cheap. I could get them both. If I like New Vegas, I'll definitely be going back and playing the older ones. I tend to like those isometric CRPGs, games like Arcanum, all the Infinity Engine games, of course. So I feel like Fallout 2 and 1 would probably be like right up my alley. And I know they have strong narratives, obviously. That's what people still love them for all these years later. So yeah, they're definitely on my short list of backlog games, potentially, if I pick them up for deep sale. Hey, the shopkeeper, finally. If you want to experience Fallout New Vegas in 3, you can get the Tale of Two Wastelands mod, which allows you to play both in the New Vegas engine. Oh, that's really interesting. Is that I don't know if you know, Bang, but does that also combine the narratives of both together into one story? Or are they kind of separated just within the New Vegas engine? Oblivion's vibe is definitely different from the rest of the series, really. I kind of like Skyrim's system for conveying that you were more or less a normal person before all that stuff and Helgen went down. Yeah, I felt like Oblivion kind of had a similar character creation system to Skyrim, but yeah, it's been a little while since I played Skyrim now, a few years, although I did kind of go back to it every now and then, but just heavily modded. So it's kind of hard for me to remember vanilla Skyrim systems, really. But yeah, I did kind of feel like you were a normal person grabbed from the border, right? You were coming in to be beheaded. A classic intro scene like that. Please play New Vegas. Also, what's up, friendly cashier? I think that's the first message in the chat. I hope you're doing well. Please play New Vegas. You won't be disappointed. Fallout 3 has a special place in my heart. People give it crap, but it's mostly an exploration-style game. Definitely don't approach it like you would a real RPG. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I feel like a lot of the Bethesda-style ones are more sandboxy, so that's kind of my assumption of Fallout 3. I know that was Bethesda, where New Vegas was Obsidian, I think. So I know it's different kind of design structure they have. Obsidian was always more like narrative-focused, whereas Bethesda had that sandbox design more commonly. That specific cave where you got killed is one of the hardest relative to its level. The battle mage does not joke around. Oh, so that's actually like a known place where new players die, huh? All right, I feel better then. I don't feel as bad about my death. The best games are often the most flawed, in my opinion. Tame Giant Spider Companions, sweet. Yeah. Oblivion is amazing for entirely different reasons than the others. It's actually your favorite. Interesting. Keaton, give me some perspective on that. What makes you love Oblivion so much? I already know I didn't spend a lot of time with it, so I don't feel like my opinion is like some set in stone opinion or anything about Oblivion. And I do intend to go back to it. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what makes you love it so much. You prefer class or classless RPGs? I kind of like class RPGs. I like having a more strict class design, but it kind of depends. If I'm playing a CRPG that's party-based, then I like specific classes. In a sandbox like Daggerfall, if you give me the tools to build my own designs, then I would prefer classless. But yeah, it's really going to depend on the type of game. For a sandbox, Daggerfall-esque type of game, I think I would like a classless system where I can build exactly what I want. In a game like Icewind Dale, I like having strict classes where everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, their own set of gear that's like relevant for them or powerful for them. And so they all just kind of have their own unique utility, you know? Certain class in Icewind Dale might be good for a certain dungeon or against a certain enemy, while another might be worse. A thief might help you get more wealth in towns and cities, but performs weaker in dungeons. I always like having that kind of party composition with everyone having their strengths and weaknesses for group-based RPGs. But yeah, in the Infinity games, like, those type of CRPGs, I don't think I would like a classless system for that. Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas take place in the same regions. It's cool to see how the factions evolve over time. Interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. Would you guys recommend then starting with one, or is it kind of okay just to play New Vegas first? My opinion my preference would be to start with New Vegas if I could, but Fallout 2 was also like right around there. I wanted to play both, so sort of. You can choose if you want to bring your items from 3 to New Vegas and vice versa. You can pick, but the narratives are separate. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So you could even bring the same character then, you're saying. Like if I was let's say I finished 3 at level like, I don't know, the level systems were like, let's say level 28 or something. I could then start New Vegas and kind of importing that character maybe. You could pretty easily start with New Vegas. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be my preference if I could choose, if it doesn't really matter for the narrative. All right, what has this guy got? I can sell a bunch of stuff to him. Oh, wait, I don't want to sell my spell book. We'll keep that. All right, that's some decent gold, and we could buy... I gotta check what this character is actually forbidden from using here. I'm not even sure. She cannot use short blade, long blade, and blunt. Okay, and she also can't use silver, elven, ebony, orcish, or daedric, kite shields, or leather. Okay, it's a huge... I'm not gonna remember this. So this is iron, which is plate. We can't wear that. We can wear this headband. That's cool. We can see what that is. We can't wear leather. Purification potion's really good. And I don't really care about those spells. Oh, we don't have enough gold for this? This enchant must be pretty good. It's expensive. So is just the potion. Our personality must be really low. But one potion's better than nothing, I guess. Oh, it does work that way, Bang? Yeah, that's cool then. That kind of reminds me of a couple other mods that incorporate like both games like that, but I prefer that it be separate like that. I kind of like that. There's a mod for Might and Magic 6, 7, and 8 that incorporates them all into one like singular set story that I've heard people don't like that design for because it kind of hurts the balance a lot and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of cool they kept it separate, but then you're allowed to import what you want if you would want to even do that. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I got a phobia to undead, so I'm never gonna... Oh, hey, we just pacified him anyway. Okay, cool. All right, let me read chat again. You were not the main character in Oblivion. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. That reminds me of another game, too, that I played. I like the idea of like an RPG where you're not the main character, but you would support the main character. And it's cool in a game that's like a party-based system like that. That's almost a little bit of how Dragon Age Origins is, if you really think about the plot. Like, Alistar is kind of the main character of Dragon Age Origins in a way. It's not exactly like that, but it does feel like you're kind of supporting him, his claim to the throne, his position as the son of the, I forgot which king died, but yeah. But he was like a bastard son, right? Yeah. Been catching up on your videos on my lunch breaks at work. Thank you for making my job more bearable. Hey, that's great to hear. That's awesome, yeah. Yeah, I've been streaming a lot, so there's a lot to catch up on if you want. But glad you're able to catch the live stream like this. I think this time slot's working a lot better for a lot of people because it's been a lot easier to get some new people in and some of the older faces as well, which is really nice. I'm happy with this time slot on the weekends. I think it's working. I like Class 2, but some systems with multi-class makes it seem almost pointless. Yeah, that's true too. There should be at least some kind of decent trade-off with multi-classing if you're going to do that. Games like Icewind Dale, I don't think have a good multi-classing system. You're just way too powerful. But yeah, I don't mind too much about balance, but yeah, it is true that not having some kind of built-in trade-offs just make it feel like you might as well. Icewind Dale is one of those games where you might as well go, like some kind of fighter or mage hybrid because it's just so strong and you barely lose anything. I played New Vegas first, having 1 and 2 as prequels was cool. That's a cool perspective I could have on it as well. I like that. You totally played New Vegas first. Nice. That's good. Yeah, that'll be this year for sure. I wonder if I should stream that. I wonder if you guys would want to see my first playthrough of it. I'll probably suck at it, but that's okay. Start with Fallout 1. It's the best representation of the Fallout world and themes, but it's on the hardcore side, being old or interesting. Yeah, older games don't really bother me. I played a bunch of older ones that are hard to play. Recently played through the Realms of Arcania games. I like the Infinity games as well. Yeah, I'm usually okay with older games. Fallout 1 is also pretty short, 15 hours. Oh, okay, that's actually good to know as well. Interesting. Soon New Vegas get a remaster? No? Oh, I don't know. I never heard of that, actually. I haven't really been following up on news about stuff like that, but that would be kind of cool. I already have the old one, so with some modding support, I probably would just play the original since I got it. But yeah. I need a few weeks to write an essay on why Oblivion is special. That's fair. Hey, I can understand that. Keaton, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Yeah, due next week, Keaton. Due on our next Saturday stream. A 500-page or 500-word essay, I should say. My first playthrough of Fallout 1, I accidentally stumbled into the end of the game in my first 30-ish minutes. Nice. I wonder how that's designed then. That's kind of interesting. Even better, FNV is also getting a sequel from the same Obsidian team, though missing a couple key players, but Josh Sawyer's on board for the sequel. Nice. I don't know specific names, but always makes me very happy when original members can come back and, continue writing for their universes or the universes that they help make, special for old school fans and stuff. I love to see that. Yeah, I love that about Dragon Age Origins. I'd watch. Yeah, it's really cool about Origins. And you don't realize that at first, which is what's so cool. But the main character is really not the main character. And yeah, I like that design a lot for an RPG. It also kind of takes the stress off of you being the special chosen one concept, which is really nice. You're obviously very strong in Dragon Age Origins, and you do have like a lot of I don't know, I guess influence that is kind of maybe outside what you might expect in universe, but it does kind of make sense with how the Grey Wardens function and your specific situation. You're kind of uniquely positioned to have that fate, so I think it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I do love that Alistar is really the main character, and it's about you trying to navigate the political environments and I guess the apolitical environment. Being a Grey Warden, you're supposed to not be politically influenced, so it's kind of a cool balance you strike with that game. Yes, please stream FNV. It would be fun to see your first playthrough. We'll try not to spoil it with OP strats or spoilers. Yeah, that'd be cool. I got it already, so I could try and set it up for maybe next weekend. Tomorrow, I want to go over some other mod stuff on stream on Sunday. I'm trying to do like Saturday and Sunday streams, but yeah, maybe we'll take a look at New Vegas then. And yes, Professor. And yeah, we could try that. Yeah, that could be cool. I do think I want some starting mods, right? I'm sure I could find a Reddit post where people talk about what's like good for a first playthrough. I like having some mods in my first playthrough, but I also don't feel like I need them. I do want some... I do want to feel like I'm capturing most of the essence of the original vision, but I'm also not against like some mods that are generally considered like very, very valuable for a playthrough. So yeah, I can get some people's opinions, I guess, on what would be best, but I'm okay with either way, personally. I know some people, like when they first play a game, they want to play the purely vanilla version and they don't want any modded content. But if there's some mods that are like uniquely good for a first-time playthrough, then I'd be willing to add those. But not too. I wouldn't do too much. I kind of favor classes because I like the idea of cleric, druid, and wizard types using different power sources more than it all coming from one thing. Yeah, I mean, the more strict your class design is going to be, the more like strict you can role play a specific fantasy. I feel like, especially with how just you know, the history of these classes from all sorts of different RPG games. We have a sense of how they should function and how they should behave and what their restrictions are and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it kind of depends on me, the type of game though. But in general, if it's party based, I like stricter class designs. Yeah. Dragon Age was mental. The main character and story just kept getting rebooted with every game. Yeah, no, I don't even pay attention to the games after Origins, to be honest. They really, they honestly kind of depress me. But I didn't feel like Dragon Age 2 was necessarily that bad. I do like the idea of choosing a regional, more narrow narrative for the sequel, because Origins was kind of like, you know, country or continent level threat, maybe even world level threat, you could argue. So I kind of like the idea of Dragon Age 2 going with a regional storyline. I just don't feel like it was like that successfully done, in my opinion. I didn't love the characters either. Josh Sawyer even made an overhaul mod for New Vegas. Oh, that's sick. Addressing things he wasn't happy with. Very dedicated dev. Is that an overhaul mod, like mechanics-wise or like narrative-wise? Maybe like more quest design or like actual just system-level stuff that he wanted to change? I'd love an Infinity-style game set in sci-fi universe. I also have a fantasy of an Infinity-style game set in World War II Europe with fantastical elements. Not sure why. That would be sick. I do wish there was more CRPGs in the sci-fi setting. It's kind of surprising how little there are. There is a game called Colony Ship that has good reviews. I haven't played it myself, but it's like pure sci-fi. The context of the narrative is like you're some kind of generation of people that left Earth for a new planet, and there's just generations and generations that live and die on this ship, this colony ship, and you're one of those middle generations. You don't have any memory of the home planet, and you also have no chance of living long enough to see the new location. I think that's a very cool context for a sci-fi story. So I heard Colony Ship is good, but I haven't played it myself, but that is one at least kind of isometric CRPG. Obviously not exactly Infinity Engine, but that's at least a sci-fi that could be interesting. I love how mages are handled in Dragon Age. Feels very grounded. Oh, V2 friendly cashier. The world building around mages, I've never seen a game go so hard trying to capture like how a society would have to realistically orient itself to deal with people that have magical powers. And the idea that they basically all get sent to an institution separated from society at young ages, I think is a very realistic and grounded approach for how organized societies might deal with people with magical powers like that. Definitely anti-crash mods are a requirement. Yeah, at least those I gotta grab for sure. New Vegas has a Wabbajack to load up all the community super mods. Interesting. Yeah, I'd have to curate it probably, like specifically look at which ones and not go too hard maybe, but yeah. No games improved more by mods than Daggerfall? Yeah, absolutely. I think Daggerfall is one of the few games where just a few mods can really, really improve the experience. That's why I usually recommend even new players start with some mods for Daggerfall, at least travel options, and some of the ones that are synergize well with travel options. I was wanting an apostate mage origin. Daggerfall origins felt like a missed opportunity. Yeah, that would have been a really cool origin option. There's actually a bunch of cool origin options they could have done for origins, but yeah, I guess what they had was still good. It was still a decent amount of options, but yeah, more would have been great. It's not like Daggerfall. New Vegas definitely feels like a complete experience without mods besides anti-crash, anti-bug. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go too hard on the modding then for New Vegas. Dragon Age 2 was a cool idea, poor execution. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. And I also just didn't like the characters that much. I did finish it though, but I would never go back to it personally. and I did not like what they did to the combat. I couldn't believe what they did to the combat from Origins. That was so depressing for me. Dragon 2, you were janitor for one city. Yeah. Basically, yeah. I would like to see a couple more CRPG stories, though, that have a more narrowed and, like, I guess narrow narrative context like that. You know, more regional storyline where it's not about the fate of the planet, but maybe it's more about, like, the political situation in, like, a local city or something. And that's kind of the grand overarching narrative rather than some kind of world threat. I do like seeing more of that kind of stuff, so. All right, let's go underwater. We'll live or die. Let's just see what's underneath here. Oh, they're chasing us. We'll definitely check out Colony Ship. Thanks. Yeah, it looks cool. I think it's also on my list. I didn't pick it up just because it hasn't had the deepest sale yet. I'm not sure why. It's not that new of a game anymore, but hey, the spider paralyzed the skeleton for me. That's nice. Let's see if we can even hit this guy, though. But yeah, it looked really interesting. I'm kind of interested in it as well. It's on my list. You can download the unofficial patches for New Vegas, which fixes the major bugs and adds quality of life stuff. Yeah, I think that's maybe I should just do that and not worry about really any other mods at first. Because I do kind of feel like New Vegas would be pretty cool to see mostly vanilla. But yeah, that sounds like probably a good starting point for me at least. Maybe I'll install it tonight and see how make sure it runs and everything, and maybe next weekend, or just throughout the week maybe. On a random day throughout the week, I'll go with New Vegas maybe. Just for one stream to try it out. Especially when that magic can get you really messed up if you're not careful. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I kind of like that, honestly. According to Sawyer, the mod consists mostly of changes he liked, but was unsure if the Fallout 3 audience would like, and the team did not have time to screw around with such decisions. Interesting. Huh. I didn't realize... Oh, was New Vegas after Fallout 3? I didn't realize that. I always assumed that Fallout 3 came afterwards. That was such a weird situation. I wonder why Bethesda and Obsidian kind of had... both had the rights at like a similar time period to work on different visions for Fallout. It's kind of interesting. Because I remember, like, way back in the day, there were other old teams that, like, kind of worked with each other. You guys know Black Isle Studios was made up of a lot of old Obsidian members. And they kind of worked with BioWare with the Infinity Engine stuff. Not, like, directly, but, or maybe it was directly. I don't know the extent of it. But, yeah, they just made very similar Infinity Engine stuff like that. And, yeah, I guess Black Isle Studios was Icewind Dale, while BioWare got Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Yeah, I'm not sure if then Black Isle Studio also did Planescape Torment or not. I think they also did, right? The Obsidian writers at least did Planescape Torment, I think. So it's kind of an interesting situation they had as well. And that was both under D&D, I guess, at the time. So I'm not really sure how that stuff works, but it's interesting. But back then, having both BioWare and Black Isle Studios, two like giants of CRPGs making different Forgotten Realms works, like that's just such an awesome era for CRPG fans. Amazing stuff. Colony Ship is cool, but it wasn't for me. Age of Decadence from the same dev is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Yeah, I've heard of Age of Decadence as well. I haven't played that one, but I've heard of that as well. I heard really great things about it. Yeah, they're an interesting dev team, though. I like the type of work they make. I think even if I didn't love the game, it's still one of those titles that I'm happy to see is created by one of these teams, because they're trying to do something really cool here. And yeah, I still want to try out Colony Ship for myself, though. I will definitely pick that game up. I played the demo. I don't know if the demo's still up, but there was a demo at one point, and it felt pretty cool to me. I really like the story context they got going on for the Colony Ship, but yeah. I think it's kind of lighter on combat, though, if I heard correctly. Which is okay with me for CRPGs. But yeah, some people might not like that as much as like Baldur's Gate 2 or Icewind Dale or something. Oh man, this guy doesn't want to die. I love the roundhouse animation though. For hand to hand, it's like the coolest looking animation in the game to me. Just a clean kick like that. All right, we're gonna fight this to the death, whatever happens. I spent so much time on this run just reading chat. I'm really loving the live streams though. I really like just hanging out with you guys, talking about RPGs. It also just helps me get like a lot of cool info on some titles I might be interested in, but more importantly, just a fun way to share my passion for RPGs and games and stuff like that. So it's been really sick. I did not expect to be streaming this much when I first started, like last week. I thought I'd do it a little bit. I thought I'd like it, but yeah, I love hanging out with you guys and chatting. This might be the end of this run, though. We're going to fight to the death. Oh yeah, I forgot about the little uppercut animation too. That's kind of cool. All right, I kind of figured it was about time for that run to die anyway. I had no idea where I was going. Yeah, Bethesda treated Obsidian like... Oh, did they really? Yeah, I don't know anything about the actual like story of how they... I didn't know it was on bad terms like that. It's kind of interesting. Bethesda licensed it out to Obsidian. There was a big controversy over a bonus where they missed out on it over 1 Metacritic point. That's insane. Wow. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes more sense. For some reason, I wasn't... Yeah, obviously, Bethesda owns the IP, right? So they would just license it out to Obsidian. For some reason, I was thinking there was some party that was above both Bethesda and Obsidian that had brought it out to different companies. But no, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, of course, Bethesda owns it. Shpan, what do you think of Neverwinter Nights 2? Oh, it's a good question, Yuval. I actually have played a little bit of it, but it was a long time ago, and I'm not sure why I dropped it. But I just did not get far in it at the time. I don't think it because I wasn't feeling it, though. I think it was just because of I kind of got in the mood to play something else, and then I started a different playthrough on a different game, and then I just never went back to it. Neverwinter Nights 2, I heard interesting things about it, though. I heard that people really, really love the DLC expansion. I heard that some people consider... I think it's called Mask of Betrayer. That might be right. I heard some people think that's like their favorite CRPG in general for some people, like even more than the base game. Like apparently the story's like really great, the characters are great, but yeah, Neverwinter Nights 2 is one of the games I gotta play more of for sure. Especially since I started this channel like a year and a half ago or however long now. A lot of the time that I would use as free time to, play some other games, I kind of spend a lot of it making content now. So, yeah, it's definitely slowed down my ability to try new games. But now that we got the stream as an option, we'll probably be able to play some new games more often because I don't always have to stream Daggerfall with the streams, which is cool. But for my main actual videos that I publish on the channel, I'm mostly going to be keeping that to Daggerfall. Whenever I do videos on other games, they don't tend to really do very well. So, Japan, have you played Shadow Tactics or Desperado 3, those turn-based tactics games? I did not play Desperado 3, but I actually watched a lot of it. I also didn't play Shadow Tactics, but Desperado 3 I thought looked so cool. The way they captured that like Wild West aesthetic, the voice actors, the characters. I like how those games, to me, I don't know what they're really called. I guess they're called just like turn-based tactics. Like, yeah, I guess that's what it's called, right? But they always have like some CRPG light elements, with the companions and stuff. So I always kind of appreciate that about them. But yeah, I actually watched just randomly a decent amount of Desperados 3 because I was watching some guy do like speedrun content of the missions, and I thought it looked very cool. I like how everyone has their own separate tools to do things. It's really nice. But games like that probably scratch a similar itch to CRPGs for me. But if I was going to play one of them, it would probably be Desperado 1 or Desperado 3. Desperado 1 kind of had that remaster recently, right? And I think the graphics look really good in Desperado 1. Like, they aged very nicely, the art style. Real-time tactical stealth. Oh, okay. Is that what the genre is really called? It's interesting. I'm going to set up my standing desk 1 second, guys. I got to adjust the microphone, too. You might hear, like, a little noise for a little bit. And drink some water. All right, let's adjust this microphone real quick. Most D&D games depict how the DM wanted their campaign to go. Neverwinter Nights 2 is how it actually happened. Oh, that's kind of interesting perspective. Meaning that the main campaign is at its best if you take it as a tongue-in-cheek send to D&D cliches. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I have not heard that kind of explanation for it before, Fiffinger. I like that. Yeah, I'm sure I would like it. I just gotta spend some time with it. It's fun hanging out and discussing this topic that we're all thinking about intently for hours at a time. Yeah, for sure. I feel like my actual gameplay on screen is suffering, though. Mask of the Betrayer is pretty good. Yeah, that's what I heard. I even felt like for the original Neverwinter Nights that the DLCs were a lot better than the original campaign. But for me, with Neverwinter Nights, I really just play the custom modules that are made by the community, mostly. Let's try one more Abyss here. Let's see how that goes. We might have to do another custom class for that. I need to create more and consume less myself. It's good for you. Yeah. You should check out art by Damos Art about New Vegas if you want to get into the mood of the game. Is the name of the artist Damos? We'll make him a swimmer. Actually, let's try pure chaos in this once. I don't know if I did that more than one time, so maybe it'll be okay. We'll have to go like a high level for this Abyss, though. Let's go like 25 and see how that feels. We got Abyss. We'll choose a large dungeon size. Oh, you should check out art by Damos. Dude, they're so good. You'd never think RTS stealth games would work, but they work so well. Yeah, it's very much in the wheelhouse of ISO CRPG style. You'd feel right at home with them. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I get from them. And you even get a taste of that, I guess, when you have like a stealth character in an isometric CRPG. A little bit. Of course, it's very different with that genre because it's, the level design that genre is very like thoughtful for how you can approach it, creating distractions or isolating one guard. You take them out, and that lets you, get access to another area, using the high ground for distractions and stuff and all that kind of cool stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool genre. I can't think of too many other titles in that genre, honestly. But yeah, something I should probably play more of. I would probably go with Desperados 3 first. I never think of a streamer with a standing desk. Yeah, I bought it recently. It was one of the best investments, honestly. I also work from home, so for me, it's really, really useful because otherwise I'd be sitting all day. But yeah, this standing desk, you press a button, it goes up into stand mode, and you press another button, it goes down to like a sit mode. So it's really, really nice for your back. Damos art, yeah, I'll check that out. That's cool. I always love anyone that does artwork for this type of stuff. It's one of the things I wish I had done as a kid. I wish I could draw. About to play for the first time. What's up, Tony? You're about to play Daggerfall for the first time? Welcome to the stream. Real Time with Pause would be sick for a stealth tactical. That would be very cool, yeah. That would really change the genre a lot, huh? Though, I would be surprised if there was one out there that managed to do that or tried it. If there was absolutely none that chose Real Time with Pause, I'd be kind of surprised. Oh, we started right on top of the shopkeeper here. Can these guys be hurt by iron? I can't remember. Looks like they can be. That's good. I can already tell by this character just how bad our speed is. This attack speed's insanely bad. But I'm hitting pretty well here. This could be very close. Okay, we lived. All right, living the first fight is like half the battle. Let's see what kind of crazy build we got here. Oh my goodness, look at this. From what I understand, there's less custom Neverwinter Nights 2 modules because it's harder to work with. Yeah, I would imagine that. When it comes to like custom campaigns, there might not be an RPG in existence that is has more tools to work with than Neverwinter Nights 1. It's basically the whole design philosophy that BioWare went with for that game. So it's not too surprising to hear that. It's also been around a lot longer, I guess, also, so probably people spent the early years making a lot more modules, too, back then. Or just a good stealth system in an RPG like that? Yeah, that'd be really cool. Especially because in those games, you can usually see the line of sight of your enemies, right? Like, the game actually represents a grid or some kind of portion that actually shows you, like, where the enemy can see. I think that's usually how that genre works. This is an absolutely ridiculous list here. I gotta hope I find silver, I guess. I don't know. Immunity to frost is, like, basically useless. Critical weakness to fire is probably the worst element to be critically weak to. Or shock also. Those are both two really bad. It's kind of funny. We're forbidden from using weaponry longblade, but it looks like we're starting with one. In which case, as long as I don't unequip it, I can still use it, so it's kind of funny. Our longblade, yeah, I could tell the skill was going to be good. I could kind of feel that longblade was already going to be a really good skill just because we were hitting that guy so consistently. I have to go. Thank you very much, Shpan. Love your approach. Good night, everyone. Hey, thanks a lot, Yuval. And I really appreciate the gifted membership. That was really kind of you. Thank you. And take care. I'll be streaming again, I guess, tomorrow at 12 if you're around. But yeah, thanks again. I appreciate it. Blooming Rose, you're definitely selling it for me. Let me read this. You should absolutely try Shadow Tactics and Desperado 3 then. First one is Edo Japan themed. Desperado is a Western, both incredible and both go on sale regularly. Yeah, I really like Desperado's vibe. I was liking the Western aesthetic to it. It looked really good. Music was nice too. Art style looked good. Snappy Swings mod on Nexus fixes the exact slow swing problem. Makes combat way punchier. Been loving it. Oh, that's interesting. What's up, Test? I think that this first message in the stream I saw. Welcome. Yeah, I think this is partly because I got 29 speed here. So this is like the worst potential swinging animation I could have almost. I was kind of worried to try and equip something because, okay, it doesn't take it off. We're forbidden from using Longblade, but as long as we keep this on, we don't have to worry about re-equipping it. Oh yeah, we can't rest. This dungeon's like impossible, man, without a custom class. I had a several-month period where I was addicted to RTS stealth, specifically because Shadow Tactics hooked me in just by trying the demo. It made me buy the full game in DLC. Nice. Yeah, that's a genre I just don't have much experience with. I really should try some more out. It's kind of an uncommon genre, though, right? There's not that many titles in it. I know there was a recent one that came out, and it killed the studio. It was like a pirate-based one, pirate fantasy, and you were some kind of like cursed undead pirate, ghost-like crew. Maybe someone knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, the studio went under after it. I think it didn't sell well. Man, 29 speed is torture. Yeah, I think just on stamina, we're going to die in this water just swimming. This is so funny like this. Yeah, these abyssal dungeons are intense. I kind of like that there's a challenge like mode here, though. But yeah, I think it's really fit for a custom class. I think you kind of have to go custom for this. Is this a loot pile? I don't think so, no. We'll check what's on this weapon thing here. Oh, Shadow Gambit, yeah. It's unfortunate. It's definitely not that bad. It's just a niche that's too niche for most players, and they mind it hard, yeah. Yeah, I remember looking at it. I didn't think it looked bad either. And I kind of enjoy pirate fantasy because there's not a lot of it out there. And I think that that genre is actually pretty well like suited to fit the concept there. But yeah, it's really unfortunate. Man, this is crazy. There's no shot of completing this anyway, too. Let's see here. We do got some doors here, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty sure for the Abyssal Dungeon, you just want to go with a custom class. Which I think is cool. It's cool to have one option that's very challenging for the roguelike mode. Oh, you know, by the way, guys, there was recently a new update for the dragon mod. I don't know if you guys saw that. And of course, Argonian. Yeah, definitely got to be Argonian for this. But check out the new model for the dragon. We'll wait for it to stop lagging, yeah. This was made by SquidKamer, actually. I think it looks really, really good. I think they both look good, honestly, but it's nice to have that option of some variety. And as you can hear, no sounds from the dragon when I shoot. So we don't have to worry about the attack animation sound constantly happening anymore. So the mod author really did an awesome job with this update. Every kind of small detail that might have been not the best has been updated to be optional. So you actually can still put these things on if you want to in the mod settings. Let's see here. Okay, I think Dragon Rider doesn't have like in-game mod settings that you can touch, it looks like. You have to do it from the main menu, but that's okay. But yeah, you can turn on and off the attack sounds now, which is really cool. Green and spiky, yeah, looks pretty good, I think. In addition to Daggerfall Unity Collection on Nexus, I'm running three mods: Killer Instincts, Meaner Monsters, and Physical Combat Overhaul. Physical Combat makes it, if you hit an enemy, you hit an enemy. No more missing over and over. There's a dodge, and that still exists. Yeah, I know Star Siege. I know a lot of people like that over Daggerfall's vanilla system of having miss rolls. It makes armor mean way more to the player than the enemies, yeah. Kind of cool, different ways that you can rebalance those things. But yeah, I know a lot of people like it where, like, at the minimum, it'll still do, like, 1 damage, right? So that's kind of cool for those that want that. Dang, that new dragon model looks vanilla. Yeah. Kind of cool, right? I like them both, though, actually. The purple is also kind of cool. I changed some of the speed parameters, too, on it, so I can move a little faster. This area is going to be laggy, though, I think. Yeah, definitely going to be laggy here. Oh, it's kind of interesting when it runs, it keeps its arms out, maybe? Yeah. That's a little different than how it worked with the purple model. I like this area with all these hills and stuff. Very cool. Holy crap, the mod author listened and added more frames to the dragon. This looks incredible. It reminds me of the 90s rendered sprite models like in Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, it does actually have that look to it. Yeah, SquidKamer actually designed this model here, not the original Dragon Rider model, which is really cool. But yeah, it looks really nice, right? I just love now also that the sound effect is gone. For me, it was just way too much to have it screaming on every single fireball that you shot. Yeah, it's really. I think there's a couple other small changes that the mod author did. Yeah, this area is kind of laggy for me, but yeah, can still do the barrel rolls as well. It's so fun. Yeah, it's really sick. Star Siege. I mean, I just love how the modding community provides these options for people, you know? Those that want that kind of design, you can actually get it in this game. I'm always a big fan of that, you know. Make the type of Daggerfall that you want. Because someone was commenting on one of my videos talking about how they really dislike the idea that it can visually look like you're hitting and then nothing happens, you know? You actually whiffed. It's kind of like a little bit of an older school design, but yeah, I know some people don't like that. And it's kind of cool that, like, a critical fail, basically, I guess, just does 1 damage now. That was kind of a smart addition, I think, too. Okay, now we just need a zombie dragon mod to use the necromancy mod. Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, I guess more people could make more models now, right, if they wanted to. Oh, that was from the fort that I was sieging on this last save. Oh, what's up, computer graphics? How's it going? It really looks like it was rendered with some old software, like in Fallout 1 and 2. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Something like that. SquidKamer's made a lot of unique and different looking, like some NPC flats and other models and stuff like that. He added some for his Warm Ashes Wilderness mod, where there's a lot of different variety there. And he had some of them in different perspectives and stuff. He did some very cool work with that stuff, honestly. But yeah, some of these scenes now on Dragon back here is just really sick. The real problem is the lack of feedback, but yeah, there's a reason that kind of design doesn't exist anymore, yeah. Yeah, right, yeah. I think people in general just don't like it, honestly, but it doesn't really bother me personally. I guess I'm kind of more used to it maybe than, I don't know, other people maybe, but it doesn't really bother me personally. There's some ways that you can think about it where it's whiffing because of, you know, an enemy's armor. It's whiffing because they actually dodged or something, you know, but it's possible to think of, you know, like stabbing an enemy, but the way their armor is, it just sort of like deflects off or something. There's a word for that with armor. I can't think of the word, but yeah. I just like that in Morrowind, but I'm okay with it in Daggerfall for some reason. The missing thing, oh, that's interesting, yeah. Maybe it's because in Morrowind you can strike like really, really... Well, I guess you can in Daggerfall too, depending on your mod setup and your build, but yeah, that's interesting. The real problem is the lack of feedback, yeah. I get why people are against the dice roll hits mechanic. For me, it makes progression in martial arts skills so much more satisfying and tangible. Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways that you could think of it in a role-playing context too. That makes it okay and more digestible for some people, I guess. But yeah, something that never really bothered me personally. But I understand that some people just don't like it. Oh, I think it's called glancing, right? Whenever a strike with a sword kind of comes off armor, it's called glancing, right? Yeah. Like, you can kind of think of the system working in that way. Someone with a high armor class is, you know, glancing your strikes, even though it looks like it visually it's hitting. But yeah, this is so laggy for me right now. That's what's really cool about the next playthrough is that I can remove a lot of these mods that I've had for a very long time. That's going to make everything less laggy for me. I probably won't use Iliac Puddle no more in my next playthrough just because I won't be around any water. So that'll help with the lag in some areas. My terrain distance will actually also probably be shorter because I just don't need to see as far. We're not traveling in the same type of mountainous area. But yeah, I kind of like that about starting a new playthrough. You get to revisit your mod list and make changes, make it fresh again, make it work and run better. The combo really makes archery mean more. Oh, that's cool too. Yeah, that's interesting. How the game feel changes with archery specifically. I guess that kind of would feel weird. It probably feels the weirdest with archery, honestly, to not have the strike hit. Like you're watching the missile actually come out and pass through them with no feedback, no sound. I can kind of see that. If there's a magical way to make it work, I really would love turn-based combat in Morrowind. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a massive mod project. Daggerfall has sound feedback, Morrowind has nothing, but there's a mod that lets you see the actual hit chance. Also, Morrowind is worse in that regard because its random number generator is flawed. Interesting. Yeah, at least in Daggerfall you hear those, like, you hear the glancing sounds, you know? It sounds like weapons parry sometimes. It sounds like metals clashing. I feel like that helps a little bit with the presentation and the feeling. Oh man, I'm lagging so bad here for some reason. That would be a really neat idea, yeah. Marwin's got technically real-time with pause. That's pretty smooth but overwhelming for me, yeah. I felt okay with it in my first like 10 hours. I didn't feel like it was better than Daggerfall though, personally. But I was so early in, it's hard for me to be judging that early. Yeah, by the way, I got a mod now, guys. This will be in the next mod showcase video as well. That removes the guards from these towers. And even though I might not use it, I know a lot of people like to use travel options and they follow the road. And now these guys won't stop you every like 5 feet, you know? But Warm Ashes just spawned this guy, so this guy might stop me. But yeah, it's really cool. Now you can like take out your horse. Whoa. Let's go on foot here. All right, don't spawn your horse when you're on your... Wow, look at the dragon off the mount. I didn't even realize. Okay, that looks sick. This is a lot better than just having a dragonling. Oh, man. It's like almost proper size, basically. Man, SquidKamer did awesome work on this. What? That is crazy. I'm taking a screenshot of this bad boy. Do you prefer the hand-drawn sprites or the pre-rendered sprites of Daggerfall? Mario World is another example of a game where art styles changed during development and you can see it in the sprites. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of... I would need like an example, I guess, to tell. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just like off the top of my head. Hand-drawn sprites or the pre-rendered sprites of Daggerfall. Yeah, when I think of pre-rendered graphics, I think of like, what's it called? Like the backgrounds of Infinity Engine games, which I think are like some of the most beautiful looking stuff in gaming. They look like paintings to me. They look like a canvas, basically. Like that style is one of my favorites. Games like Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Even games like other ARPGs like Sacred. If you ever played Sacred 1, has absolutely beautiful pre-rendered art in the background. It just looks like an insane painting. But in general, I really like Daggerfall's art style. Even though this is not exactly Daggerfall's art style what I have, I do have vanilla enhanced on, so it's kind of a little slight improvements, I guess, or slight difference. I shouldn't just call it improvements. Those combat feedback sounds in Daggerfall are so amazingly well for the medieval fantasy vibe of it. Yeah, definitely. Oh no, the guards are my into the Dark Brotherhood. I got towers. Nice, yeah. That's a good point. They really are a great example of like civilians that are outside of the city gates that you could safely murder like that. It's kind of funny. I didn't think of that. That's a good idea. My typos are going crazy. No worries. Dragon's kind of cute. Yeah, I like this a lot. But yeah, oh yeah, I was trying to show you guys. You can now grab on your horse. And even though we have a roadside defensive structure like that, we can perfectly fine to just use... There's another one. There's no guards to stop you. Well, that was a trigger from Warm Ashes, so that's a little different. But yeah, even he won't actually stop me from fast traveling. And a lot of people asked me about this, and there was no mod for a long time that changed that for World of Daggerfall projects, so now that option's available. I think I probably won't use it, but I'm definitely going to cover this in my mod showcase because everyone was talking about this. I would get comments like a decent amount of time from people mentioning this. So yeah, I can't think of the mod author off the top of my head, but shout out to them for seeing a problem in the community and then building a fix for everyone. It's really great. How do mod authors do a better job putting dragons in Daggerfall than Bethesda did in Skyrim? I hope the next phase for Dragon Rider mod have epic dragon battles and it'll be complete. Yeah, I want to see more opportunities for aerial combat like that. Hey, we successfully avoided this encounter because I thought it was really fun when I was just building up a... Oh, I can't reach him? Okay. I would like spawn dragonlings Yeah, oh, it's so nice with the silence from your dragon now. This is amazing. Oh, by the way, this addition also, or this update, I should say, also makes it possible for the dragon to use travel options. So we don't, now we can go like this with the dragon. And we can follow roads. So the update's pretty crazy. And yeah, you can see you could increase the speed like this. I feel like I'm going to crash the game if I go too high, though. Pre-rendered backgrounds can be gods here. I don't know why I got left behind over the years. Yeah. I think they just require a lot of talent, right? You got to have good artists to make good pre-rendered backgrounds. It's basically just high-quality paintings. Going along the roads is good for traveling in the mountain regions without your character running off of a cliff and going splat. Yeah, exactly. Like, the roads are actually very useful in this game, so I can understand why some people want the NPCs from the guard towers gone so that they can actually not get interrupted constantly when they're trying to travel. But yeah, very simple. They're just not here anymore. Because there's a lot of these structures in certain regions in this World of Daggerfall project. We've already seen 4 in this short travel on the road. So, yeah, you can imagine that getting like a ton of stopping. In Daggerfall, pre-rendered sprites would be like orcs or humanoid enemies or NPCs walking around town, or guards, whereas hand-drawn NPCs in a tavern. Oh, I gotcha, computer. I see how that... Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't really ever think of them as a separate kind of thing like that, but that makes sense that they would have to be. Huh. I've seen a little bit more variety with pre-rendered ones, because some of the modded content has pre-rendered additions. I know SquidKamer has added a lot of pre-rendered ones then. Like orc-looking NPCs, he added like traveling merchant NPCs. And these are all the pre-rendered ones that don't move. And actually, now that you mention it, computer graphics, that makes a lot of sense, because when SquidKamer made those pre-rendered ones, if you use like language skills overhaul to get them on your side, they actually transform into the walking NPCs. So it's kind of interesting. They must be like a separate thing then. That makes sense. Which one do I prefer? That's a good question. I actually don't know. They both look really good. I never really thought of them as separately before, so it's the first time I'm thinking of that. I do like some of the pre-rendered ones, though, I gotta say. You do get a lot more variety with that, because they obviously didn't have to also draw an animation like artwork for them, I guess, or like a death animation for them as well, so I guess that's why there'd be more variety. Probably would go with pre-rendered, but it's super close, I'm not sure. Like the artists at Square Enix, yeah, a lot of those PS1 games had a lot of pre-rendered backgrounds, right? Those are really pretty as well. This mod makes me think of a special game mode, lay siege to all of Tamriel, where towns have archers and archer towers. Enemy dragon riders come out to attack you, and your job is to go across Tamriel and collect resources to travel to the heart of the Empire to blow up the boss castle/city. I mean, yeah, something like that would be amazingly fun. I would 100% try that out on stream. There could be more stuff like that. I know the like Lives of Banditry events is kind of similar to that, right? Like it spawns a whole big battle for you to fight in. If we could just get something like that for aerial fights, or for sieging like a town or city with like arch towers and archer towers and stuff like that, that'd be sick. But yeah, aerial combat's actually very fun with this dragon, especially ones that shoot projectiles. I could even spawn in some dragonlings to show you guys, but they don't always shoot their magic. But when they do, it's like you're playing a flight sim type game here. Let's let them separate real quick and see if we can get them to... Yeah, they'll start shooting, you gotta dodge the shots and stuff. How come so few spawn there? But yeah, when you get a lot going, there's like a bunch of projectiles on screen. A little bit of a bullet hell situation. They're shooting each other as well. But yeah, you can imagine like specifically designed enemies to make the aerial combat very fun. Like maybe faster projectiles, charge you more often. But yeah, it could be very, very cool if someone wanted to do like a mod supporting aerial combat for the Dragon Rider. Yeah, the big battle is amazing. Yeah, I love that mod so much. It's one of my oldest mods that have been in my mod list, honestly, that I basically never take out for any playthrough. Since Daggerfall Unity is highly moddable, and I think open source game modes like that could be added, imagine Daggerfall, GeoGuessr, oh, that'd be really cool too. Oh, that'd be sick, especially if it was compatible with World of Daggerfall project, because with that mod, all these regions really do have their own unique characteristics, their own unique topography, and what are those called? Like unique land. There's a word for this. Can't think of the word. But their own, like, unique, very specific topography and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Different looking environments too, just in general, when it comes to like plant life and trees and colors. I can easily see that working. Imagine the dragon dogfighting gameplay in Skyrim. If we keep adding to the aerial combat, this could be its own game. Yeah, for sure. Kind of like how the roguelike mode, we can fire it up from the main menu here. And when you do, it just starts its own unique mode, right? You don't need a set playthrough already started to enjoy the roguelike mode. Imagine just right on top of this was like dragon aerial combat mode or, GeoGuessr right here. And we just have a bunch of side fun game modes to play separately. William SRD did a video on that? Oh, interesting. There was actually was a dragon riding flight sim. Forgot what it was called, though. That sounds sick. Also, on a different subject, I don't know if you are caught up with all the news, but it's been all but confirmed at this point that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be called Sentinel. I did hear that. I didn't know it was so, clearly understood as that now, but I had heard that. That's sick. Yeah, so I guess we will be in kind of a similar area as Daggerfall then, returning. I would imagine that they might only do... I guess Sentinel is technically in Hammerfell, right? So I guess they would only do that. Then maybe, I don't think they can do both. It would just be too large, I think, to try and have both High Rock and the entire, I guess you could have, most of the regions that surround the Iliac Bay. That could be kind of cool if they wanted to go that route, but I kind of think they won't. I think it's going to be smaller in scale. But I could be wrong. But yeah, kind of cool to have some confirmation that it is Sentinel now. I don't know, guys. Do we think that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to turn out well anyway, or what's the feeling on that? Dragon Strike, old D&D game. Interesting. I think I've heard of Dragon Strike because I think it was in a Humble Bundle, old D&D collection with 30 other games. I have no expectation right now. Yeah, I think that's probably how I'm feeling, Fiffinger. But yeah, Dragon Strike sounds familiar. Unfortunately, the entirety of Hammerfell isn't included, but they'll probably have a big chunk of the Alakir Desert. Yeah, I think it'd be if they don't include some parts of the Alakir Desert, that's going to be a massive miss. That would blow my mind. Yeah, it'd be one of the few opportunities that we have to have a very sick open desert location like that. And it's just such a sick region in Daggerfall. We'll see. Yeah. Passing on any more Bethesda games. Wow, yeah. I don't blame you, honestly. I'll take a look at it for sure, but yeah. My expectations are pretty low right now. They're lower than neutral. I kind of think my feeling is that it's probably not going to be for me, really. But I could be wrong. I literally have no faith in Bethesda these days, not going to lie, but I think they'll do better than we expect after Starfield. Interesting, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people share that sentiment right now. Taken as a whole, we've only seen about half of Hammerfell, so a game encompassing would be likely. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I guess outside of Elder Scrolls Online, though, right? Elder Scrolls Online, I guess, I heard at least has everything, but I don't know how much they care about matching that with other mainline Elder Scrolls games or not. But yeah. I think it'll contain High Rock and Hammerfell, but the jury's still out if the story and gameplay will be poop from a butt. Yeah. For sure. I don't think they'll risk having too much of an exotic locale. Yeah, that's probably true. They keep stripping mechanics away, it will be a one-button game. Yeah. But the Bethesda trend is for each new game to be more watered down than the last, and it's reach a point where that actually loses new players rather than gain them, especially after Baldur's Gate 3 changed things. Yeah, I agree too. That's why I don't understand the perspective from some of these developers. I really don't think your game needs to be that simple to have decently mass appeal. I think Baldur's Gate 3 proves that, so I don't understand what the problem is with so many of the AAA studios. Part of me wonders if it's just they just don't understand how to do it themselves, and that's part of the issue. You know, it's been a lot of years, a lot of talent has left, a lot of new talents come in, so it's definitely possible that they themselves just don't have a good grasp of what needs to be done to build good, solid RPG foundations. It's possible, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Elder Scrolls Online doesn't actually have that much of Hammerfell. Interesting. Mostly stuff along the Iliac Bay and another region in the east, so the center is still unexplored. Gotcha. That's kind of cool then. I guess they have an opportunity to do something interesting here. I hope they add the races from Akavir in a future Elder Scrolls game. Would be such an awesome addition provided the game is good and the lore timeline has suitable developments like with Skyrim. Interesting. What kind of races? Like some of the offshoot ones? Like I know that there's different types of Khajiits. Like I heard there's like Omes Khajiit and Khajiits that look more like actual cats and stuff. I guess there's other types of races as well with like the Reachmen also. Someone was mentioning that in the other. I don't know if they're their own race though. They might just be Nords, I'm not sure. Or maybe they're not even Nords, maybe they're no, I guess they probably have to be Nords, right? Yeah. They won't be too worried doing exotic locale because in some ways Skyrim was kind of a mix between an alien world like Morrowind and a generic fantasy world like Oblivion. Yeah, I think they will probably go with a mix again. I would hope though that the actual Alakir Desert is like a pretty large, dangerous to traverse. Maybe they do something really cool, like when you're deep in the desert, you can't see your map or something because you lose your orientation. Could be some fun mechanics you could play off of that. But yeah, I don't know what they would do with it, honestly. I just have no idea what Bethesda would want to do there. They may as well hand over the Elder Scrolls to a more qualified developer before they blow up all of Nirn with their poor decisions. Lore Master has been summoned. Yeah, isn't that the dream, to have someone else give a shot at like some of these awesome IPs? I don't know. There's a couple good choices for that, right? I don't know who you would pick, but I'm kind of curious to see what Owlcat does with their next game. I know they're making an Expanse game. I'm not that interested in the Expanse's universe, but I do like Owlcat a lot, so I'll still look out for that game. Because for Bethesda, Elder Scrolls aren't RPGs, but exploration games, the RPG elements only being something that add to the exploration, but not the core of it. Yeah, let's hope they even get the exploration stuff right this time. I mean, for all of its faults, I do think Skyrim is still a fun game to explore. In my opinion, anyway. I still think it's got a good atmosphere, especially a good nighttime atmosphere. Nice music. It's maybe a little too dense on points of interest, in my opinion. But other than that, I still think it's a fun world to explore, Skyrim. I'm looking more forward to the mods and the game itself. I'm definitely not alone on that, but Starfield hasn't seen such a vibrant modding community, which was what would have redeemed that game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I would be the same way. I would definitely be more interested in the modding community. Yeah, I don't know much about Starfield modding stuff. I don't have that game. I've never played that game. The real problem is that Bethesda hasn't produced anything relevant in the last 10 years, and Microsoft ain't happy about that. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, this is the big... I mean, they have to succeed with this, right? But I also do kind of feel like regardless of what they do, can Elder Scrolls 6 really ever fail? I don't know if it's really possible for this game to fail. Maybe it is. But I got a feeling that it kind of doesn't matter what they do almost as far as like mass appeal goes and success goes. I don't know. Hammerfell should be fun to explore. Like, you'd kind of have to try for it not to be. Yeah, that's how I would feel too. Especially if the Alakir Desert is going to play a more central role. I mean, how do you mess that up? I don't know. Would have been nice to have a fancy new first-person RPG since I upgraded my PC before the prices got crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need an upgrade soon too as well, and I did not, unfortunately, get anything since these ridiculous prices now. Akavir is a continent to the west of Tamriel with snake people. Oh, that's crazy. Tiger people, ape people, and I think monkey demons. I believe dragons and humans also once inhabited the place. Gotcha. I've never even heard of it. That sounds sick, though. I think Skyrim got GTA 5, where it's been so long it's a meme, but when it came out, it was amazing. Yeah. Political sphere is often in upheaval as different races war on each other. Gotcha. I've not even heard of snake people in the Elder Scrolls lore. That's kind of sick. Alright, I think we might have to end the stream here, though. As always, though, this was a ton of fun. Always love hanging out with you guys, chatting. It was cool to also explore the Abyss dungeons, though I do recommend, if you ever give those a try, to make a custom class for them. I think they're a little too hard for the pre-made classes, which is cool. But it's a nice addition to the roguelike mode for those that like it. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to stream again tomorrow, probably same time, probably around noon again. And then throughout the week, I'm going to do random streams. There might be a few less streams this week just because I didn't release any actual videos on the channel this week. And I still got to get the first episode done. I also got to get the new mod showcase video done, which I'm excited about. So yeah, that might be more of what I'm doing. So there might be like 1 or 2 streams throughout the week. But yeah, take care, guys. I appreciate it as always. And see you next time. Take care, guys.